Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona, host of Mind of a Gamer, host of When Persona Speaks, and a fellow TOA member. And today, man, I got a special. First off, y'all been a lot. Yo, I feel like Barry, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel like Barry, because I've been in a lot of goddamn podcasts this weekend. This is way over my goddamn limit. Okay,
As you should be.
I had my podcast.
This is your idea, though.
You feel me? My podcast on Saturday. Right? Then that same day, later in the evening, I'm on Jay Barry's show. Just my 2 cents, right? Which was very good, by the way. You should go watch that. And then I got the SpoilerCast today, and I'm like, damn, 3 casts in about 2 days. Yeah.
You working, brother? Working.
But we are here, and we definitely got a really, really, really good show for you guys. Today we're gonna be doing, if you can see in the title, Spider-Man PS4 SpoilerCast. I had to add that PS4 just to let folks know this. We talking about the exclusive. That's on his PS4. So yeah, we all beat the game. We all really, really love the game, man. We really Spider-Man is definitely a monumental hit. And it's definitely something that resonates with all of us. So all of us being, people that are huge fans of Spider-Man and, played through the game, got the platinum and all that stuff, we're definitely about to sit down, chop it up, talk about the game, talk about, try to make some correlations with comics a little, just a tiny bit. And, pretty much it's going to be a conversation. You feel me? But before we get into anything, I have to introduce the panel, because the panel this is quality right here. Starting with my boy, Chuck. Chuck, introduce yourself.
What's up, man? It's your boy Upchuck Gaming, here. I really love this game, bro. I'm actually sad that there's nothing left for me to do. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here and talk about it. Let's get to it.
Hey. Then we got my boy, Mr. Stealth himself, the Sarge 0079.
What up, good people? It is the Sarge 0079, aka Stealth Guy. If you ain't following me on Facebook.
Oh yeah, Stealth Guy Gaming.
But yeah, I'm ready for this. I finished. I was the first one to finish the game out of everybody.
Hold on, Corey. You getting a little too ahead of yourself.
I'm just saying, I'm the first one to finish it out of everybody, because I literally know like that game.
He definitely was. Court was in the chat talking about, hey, so at this part, y'all in for
really? Don't lie, bro. I avoided my whole chat. I know how y'all.
I was ready to chat like, Court,
look.
Court was like, yo, you got to that boss fight? I was like, well, hold on, brother.
Slow it down now. Slow down.
Look, I mean, I know other people had lives, but Spider-Man was life that weekend. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we gonna get into a lot of the nitty gritty with the game. But
I'm kind of at a loss right now, because I'm like, what do I do now? Like, nothing can fill this void. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of in that same little predicament. I'll be honest. But let me then last but not least, we got probably the lightest brother in the room. You feel me? If your bub ever go out, you'll need to go to the store, buy another one. Just call Barry. Hey Barry, come through for a little bit. Would you like this room up? Barry, introduce yourself, bro.
At a young age, I was told, let my light shine. And I'm doing it literally. You know what I mean? But what is good, guys? Your boy Jay Barry, the best on YouTube.
Facts.
Out here ready to talk about this wonderful, amazing, spectacular Spider-Man only on PlayStation.
Look at the puns. Look at
the you feel me? Chuck, you feel me?
Back to definitely about to talk about the best game. But yeah, guys, this is the panel. Y'all know who I am. I'm Persona, obviously. Y'all know who I am. I don't really need to introduce myself. So with that being said, let's get into it. So pretty much what I want to get out the way first is, shout out to King Dre, just came through. I just want to point out that Spider-Man sold 3.3 million in 3 days. Just real quick, before we get into the story and all the things we're going to talk about, is anybody surprised by this? Like 3.3 million? No. I'm not surprised. I'm
Hold on.
I knew this.
I'm calling y'all cards because I'm in many Facebook chats. We do many podcasts, and a lot of you guys is like, I don't know, man, if you're gonna outsell God of War.
I'm gonna say, don't
You
be
know what I mean?
don't be putting
It
me in
wasn't
that.
me.
I was gonna say, don't throw me under the bus. I am the bus.
I'm gonna
Look,
pull up the receipts.
I'm just saying, I didn't have no doubts on it. I ain't say it was gonna score higher than God of War, but as far as selling, oh yeah, it was gonna sell.
Mm-hmm. Spider-Man's the biggest superhero in Marvel. Period.
Facts.
And we're not talking MCU. We're talking period, guys. Period. It's the biggest superhero in Marvel. Go look it up. That's the truth. Chuck, you're not surprised. I know you're not surprised that this sold 3.3
Nah,
million.
not at all, man. You know,
Yeah,
I kind of.
Big shout out to Insomniac. Big shout out to Sony, Marvel, to all those guys. Really, really huge news. I'm happy that these guys are really getting a lot of the success and people are really supporting the game. It's definitely well deserved, and it really is that good of a game. So let's jump into it. I guess let's start with the look of the game and how did Manhattan look and feel to you guys? Like, did you feel like you were in the city? Like, did it feel like a New York City type of environment, swinging around as Spider-Man? Like, how did that feel for you guys in terms of the environments? Anybody can start. It doesn't matter who. We don't got to keep it too formal.
Definitely a New York City environment. You know, I'm from New York, you know, and just looking how this game was done, you know, when I first played the game, we're first swinging out there, I was like, yeah, yo, they really captured this New York City feel with the people. You see the cabs there, people is hollering at, people screaming out, you know, hollering at, yeah, you know
Yo,
what I mean?
I caught that. I was like, oh shit, this is some real New York like taxi. I'm like, oh
really
wow,
looking dope. It was looking dope as hell, but it's not until when I really got to like Times Square, I was like, yo, these guys literally nailed Times Square. And then when I got to Harlem, bruh, I was like, yo, bruh, they did Harlem right up here, man. I mean, it wasn't as layered as how Harlem is, but like the buildings, the things that Harlem has, East Side, West Side, yo, they nailed that shit to the T. And I was like, whoa, this is really a good attention to detail here. And anybody from New York would be like, yo, this is what's up. And I just saw my man Dre, he posted something in the Facebook group, PlayStation Nation All Stars, where somebody actually had their actual game store, JNL Games, that was actually in the game, where Spider-Man took a selfie, you know, after webbing two dudes, and it was like, yo, and he put his address and all that stuff in there. I thought that was mad dope. So
my job is actually like it's not like the actual the building is there though, and like how the building looks, it's there as well. Over near the pier. I was very surprised at that as well. It's definitely as a New Yorker and someone that's been living in New York for all my life, the way they did New York, I think this is probably like one of the best renditions of New York that I've ever seen.
Not that Division stuff.
Oh nah. Division was okay, but this is another level. This is like true. Like this was like to the T New York, especially again Harlem. Like when I swanged up to Harlem and I seen the PJs, I'm like, oh god, y'all did it proper. It really felt like Harlem. And then when you swing down to Midtown and you see all the 42nd Street, 34th Street, you see Grand Central Station. You see the library, like everything is there in the city, and I'm like, yo, this is. I ain't gonna front. Even like over on Park Avenue, you know, Park Avenue, the little bridge, and then it's got that huge municipal building that's there. At the end.
Yeah.
And it's got. I'm like, yo, y'all got that. Y'all got everything, and then the fact that they was able to also keep it, make it feel like New York. For like a New Yorker like us, and then also make it feel like New York for Marvel.
In the comics, they had everything in there. They
had more, except for one thing. But you know, hopefully in the next game we can see that Baxter building. But
because you know, while this game was in development, you know, they was having their
the back and forth.
Their back and forth.
Courts, Chuck, how y'all feel about the city and how the city is?
As a person that's never been to New York, now I've been to the state as far as like Buffalo and Niagara, but I've never been to actual New York. I can pretty much say like it surprised the hell out of me, even down to the rats on the streets.
Yeah, I definitely seen that.
Yo, them rats was huge.
Dying.
I was like,
Respect my rats.
look, bro, I was just walking down the street. I was like, "Is that a squirrel?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, ain't no trees around. That's a damn rat." I was like,
right.
"Wow."
That's right. I see them all over.
I was like, "Damn, they really got it down to the dang rats." I was like, "You know what? That's what's up." Then I started noticing like how things change in different districts. Like every district doesn't look the same. They have their own little unique vibe and feel to it. Like you go to Koreatown, it ain't like Harlem. It ain't like the middle of the city. It ain't like, all this is like, you in Koreatown. Like, it.
That's how New York is too, man. Like, yo,
that's really how it is.
Walking down the block, you know you in Chinatown right away. Like, oh, this is definitely a different area. I'm in Soho. I'm in.
And it's like only like a line that's like separating them. Like if you look across the street, you'll see, like the knockoff bags from the Chinese and all this stuff over Canal Street. But then you walk like a block up, you're in like affluent area where there's rich people in all these crazy stores, Saks Fifth Ave, and all this other stuff. Like it really is like that. Like it's crazy.
So I mean, and then of course fusing in all the Marvel buildings that we know into a, almost scaled New York. I was like, okay, I reckon like Avengers Tower, you can't miss that. That's like one of the biggest
right there, yeah.
It's like one of the biggest buildings. Then all of a sudden you go all the way down to the south. It was like, oh, there's a damage control building. Wait, what? Y'all got damage control?
Yeah.
Then you start swinging down lower, and you see Matt Murdock's law practice. You see the bar. I'm like, then you see the Wakanda. Look, then you see the Wakanda embassy.
They had the bar with no name too in there, bro.
Yeah. Yo, they did. They did. I was very like amazed at the fact, the detail of that.
But then look, you swing, and then you see this building with purple lights on. You be like, what? You're like, is that the Wakanda? I'm like, you know what? They would have to do this shit. Like y'all gonna know we here.
The Wakandan embassy.
Sanctum Santorum.
Strangers area.
I was like, y'all really did this up. And then of course, Oscorp. I was like, you know what? I applaud this because ain't in no other game have I felt like I actually been to New York and never been to New York. And I'm still in the Marvel universe, so I'm happy with it. I enjoyed every part of that little tour of New York, even the rats and the trash on the street.
Yeah, I would say like for me, the rats did trip me. I'm telling you, I literally was laughing. My daughter's like, "Dad, is that a rat on the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's New York for you. Don't want to go there." But anyway, no, but. I did enjoy like the scenery. I think
what up?
I definitely I've been to New York before. I used to start so I used to be out there a lot. But I like more so like how the crowds was interacting with each other. Excuse me. I definitely like how there was actually like people. It felt like a live world. It wasn't like just a regular. No, some games try to do open world, but the NPCs are just dumb. Like these people was actually like moving around, doing things, talking shit to you, or saying, "Hey, can I take a picture?" I mean, I think I like that more than anything. I mean, the buildings was cool, but for it to be like a live world, it definitely it felt good, man. Even working with the police or just doing certain things in the city and people recognizing that. I think that's a nice touch they did. But overall, the game was beautiful, man. I definitely love swinging. I really fast traveled in this game.
Only fast travel for the trophy, man. I ain't fast travel.
I rarely fast travel.
I'll put it like this: if I was in Harlem and had to go all the way to Chinatown,
Yeah, you know what? That's telling though, because it's very rare that an open game you really use that fast travel mechanic. But this game, I was like, yo, bro, I didn't really want to use it. I wanted to swing.
I didn't want to use it.
I wanted to swing around.
I'd rather swing there.
Especially when the sun was like half down, half up, that real orangish type look.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, listen, I only used Subway them 5 times for the trophy. I did not.
Hey, that is super fast
travel.
Yo, especially when you had like 3,000, 4,000.
I didn't care.
Like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 kilometers.
City, bro.
Yeah, I didn't care. I'm swing. You know why? Because. Well, hold on. Before we get into it, let me introduce. Yo, we got Dre in the building. Hold on. This is beautiful because we got Plus on Block podcast in the building.
Hey,
we got the full members. You feel
what's up? Yeah, what up, Dre?
What's going on, people? I'm here, man. Yeah, we both here Plus on Block podcast, bro. Every Tuesday, 8:30.
Yo, I'm hyped. Yo, this is
Eastern time.
This is magical.
Time, you know what I'm saying?
We're talking Spider-Man today.
I'm talking Spider-Man today.
We'll talk about that Android 17 trailer.
There ain't gonna be much to talk about, but
yeah, we got Spider-Man frames in the fighting combat.
Nah, bro.
Yo, but
it was locked at 30.
Plus on Block podcast is every Tuesday 8:30. Please check them out. These dudes is cool. It's an honor to have them here. And then we got the full TOA boys here too.
Oh man, this is rare.
It's magical, guys. Then we got council.
Rare.
This is dope, man.
I'm being emotional. But yo, Dre, as a fellow New Yorker,
yes, sir.
Tell the people how did you like the world? Was it what you expected as a New Yorker? Like, was it some oversight? Let us know.
It is definitely what I expected and then some, man. Usually you see people try to copy New York and they get some aspect right, and well, for the most part, it's not what we know, you know what I'm saying? But this one is like the best representation of NY we've seen so far, man. And it was definitely though. When I showed that post that JNL joint, I was shocked because I was like, yo, damn. They even know JNL games, bro, to put that shit in the game, which is insane, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I usually go to get my games early. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go." That's what's up.
For real, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man, that shit was fire. I'm like, yo, the fact that they even know that, and that spot is like right across the street from my old job. So it's like they had that shit down, man, crazy. So like, definitely shout out to Insomniac, bro. They definitely like did their research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
yeah, I'm talking about rats, bro, and. I wasn't looking for them, but I was running in the street and I saw someone running crash. I thought it was like a plastic bag or something. I turned around, it was like a squirrel, bro. It was a squirrel. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, they did have squirrels in there, but
I turned around. I'm like, yo, this shit is insane.
They have birds and squirrels. I seen a couple rats.
Look, bro,
I think one of the rats was fighting the villains with me.
Look, I wasn't looking for the rats. The rat just kind of popped up. I was walking by a hot dog stand. It was just like, hey, it's a rat.
But even thinking about that, like I was swinging close to the train station, and I was doing a mission, and I was right next to the train station, and I even hear the train noise, like, yo, when the dude is like, yo, stand here to close the door, please. I was like, these niggas here, this shit was insane. I was like, they even got that done to the train announcer and all that shit, man. I'm like, that shit is crazy, bro.
One thing about the trains that wasn't accurate, and you know this, like when the trains was like above ground, and it sounded like it ain't sound like a MTA train. It sound like a locomotive type thing. I'm like, all right, this is a little all right, the sound of it is a little off, but everything else, like in terms of the trains, was definitely on point.
Great.
Definitely on point. But yeah, man, it's good to have Dre here, man. It's definitely about to get turned up.
Appreciate the invite, man. Y'all got a West Coast nigga in here.
I'm saying, man, when they make a game on Cali, we'll talk about the lack of water.
Hey, chill, bro.
You ain't gonna have a trophy. Capture 10 fish. How?
Oh, bro. Oh, that shit gonna be contaminated, man. Like,
how am I catching fish? Ain't no water.
California, bro.
We gotta check your contamination levels, man.
But nah, in terms of like, let's get into like characters now. in terms of in terms of Peter, because Peter is the biggest. Do you feel like, in voice acting wise as well, but also look, and like how he was, mannerisms and things like that, with Peter and Spider-Man, like when he's out of costume and in costume, do you feel like Insomniac hit the nail on the head on how Peter is, like how he's supposed to be? Anybody can start. It doesn't matter.
I think they did a pretty good job at it. I low key kind of wish they would have done it look a little bit older than he was, because in this game I think Miles is supposed to be what, 15 or something like that, 15 or 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
And but when you look at both of them, they didn't look that too far apart in age. You know what I'm saying? But but for the most part, the personality of Peter and just his quick wit and all the snarky shit that he be talking, like, it's on point. Like it's what he is. So I definitely think they nailed that part. You know what I'm saying? And I like how they went with this direction with this type of older Peter, and we didn't have to worry about another origin story and all that.
Oh
You know what I'm
God,
saying? 'Cause we see that shit a
yeah.
million times already.
I can't-
We know what happened.
I can't lie.
Yeah, this is like what, 8 years after Uncle Ben died. So like they still kind of dealing with it, but for the most part, we know they passed that. So I definitely think they got him down, and I do like this one. So
Okay. Chuck, how you feel?
I'll say, like, for me, I was more impressed by Peter because he actually felt, important in this game. Nobody's really captured Peter Parker, and like game wise to make him feel like he's supposed to be a part of the story, because you kind of have to, when you play Spider-Man games, like, okay, I'm Spider-Man, this and that, but in this one, you see, like, his real life is pretty messed up, bro. Like, my man is struggling, dude, trying to pay the rent, all this other, and I love that aspect of this game because it made you kind of felt connected with Peter. Like, he's trying to juggle all this shit, while being Spider-Man at the same time. It's kind of crazy, him like building the suits and him just doing everything, man. It felt like, man, like, he's a smart motherfucker, bro. Like, I respect that, and even like one part in the game where I think Doc Ock, it was him and Doc Ock, and he kind of cracked the joke, like he was Spider-Man, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man. Sometimes I, in bad situations I crack a joke." I'm like, damn, like his Spider-Man persona came through while he was outside the costume. I'm like, damn, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
it's just like little shit like that. I really appreciate. That's what I'm saying. I think this is like the best Peter Parker, bro. Like, in my opinion, I love this Peter Parker.
Most definitely, man.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
A lot of people would talk smack, like, yo, he's so smart, but he's always broke. And it was like, hey,
it's people out here with master degrees working at McDonald's.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he doesn't really. It's not about the money for him, man. You know what I'm saying? He loves the tech, doing the science and helping other people. So it's like it's always gonna be like that. Usually, them people, they smart as hell. They rich, like, you know what I'm saying? They rich. They use their smarts, and they make mad money off of it. But for Peter, it's different. So that's
definitely different.
Yeah, for Parker, he's more of like a humanitarian style type of, like, he's trying to do the breakthrough in this game. He could have worked for Osborn. Like, it was discussed, it was known he could have went and worked for Osborn and did all these made a whole lot of money, but he wanted to work with Otto and help better the world. Like, that was his drive to keep going there, even though he wasn't getting paid a whole lot. And even after the fact, he still was willing to stay and work for free to help Otto realize his vision. And also, it's like, it isn't about the money for him. It's about technological and scientific breakthroughs. Like, that's what he truly, he's doing what he loves regardless of the money. I do like the fact that they did capture a realistic Peter, just because it helps the player really relate to not just Peter, but relate to just life. Like, they let you see his life, like he's got girl troubles, he's got the apartment troubles, like apartments are
crazy.
Real life troubles,
even though we are superheroes, he's still shouldering a responsibility that he has to others, believe it or not, like all of us that have jobs and are working, we have a responsibility to the job, his responsibility is to the job, albeit Peter or to Otto. That's his responsibility. So I think all of us can relate in that aspect to Peter, and the fact that they did such a good job with him in and outside of the suit, I think really amazes me, because again, getting Spider-Man down, I feel is harder than Peter, because the mold of Peter is already there. He's broke, he's smart, like that's there. With Spider-Man, the jokes, the mannerisms, the flow, the move, those are the harder things to do, because those things aren't easy to replicate or to convey to a player to where they'll feel like, yeah, this is Spider-Man. You have to really understand the character to do that. And it was amazing. Like I loved Spider, like everything, the jokes, everything about it was just great with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
great.
Barry.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. Everybody's saying, I think they nailed Peter Parker to the T here. As far as not just his showing his personal life, like a lot of people I know was complaining about the downtime in the game, but to me, I thought that was amazing. And like, yeah, you're playing as a Spider-Man game, but Spider-Man is also Peter Parker, and Peter Parker has his aspects that you got to deal with as well. And I felt like they nailed those aspects. But one of the greatest things I've seen in this game for me personally is like, everybody know Peter Parker is like one of the smartest, human beings in the world. But this game, you really feel that Peter Parker is one of the smartest beings in the world. Like a lot of Spider-Man games, they hint that he's smart and all that stuff, but they don't really show that, or they don't really push that. This game, this man was developing suits. He's like, oh, I gotta counter this poison. Let me create this antigen real quick. You know what I mean? Let me zip this thing up. Like, yo, this guy is literally one of the smartest dudes in the world. You know what I mean? And yo, they when I every scene when I saw that they did something like that, like, yo, all right, man, I can fight this. We spoiling. This is SpoilerCast, right?
Yeah.
So I'm fighting Doc Ock.
Free, bro.
I'm fighting Doc Ock. Let me create some plans, because yo, I helped him create what he is right now. So if anybody that can counter this dude, it's me. You know what I mean? And yo, he realized it. He was like, yo, when Mary Jane was like, yo, yeah, right now you probably don't need Spider-Man, you need Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Like, he was like, oh, you're damn right. And you go right
Later on, thank you.
You know what I mean? Created that suit to counteract, Don Ock. And I was just like, yo, that is so ill to me, man, because like, yo, it's coming from a comic aspect as well. Like, yo, in comic books, you reading about Spider-Man, yes, but it's also a lot of development with Peter Parker, and you see those elements that they took from the comic books, and I'm like, yo, Insomniac, man, yo, great ass job, dude. Like, I love this game, man.
I'm a fanboy right now.
Court. Thoughts?
Oh man, this has got to be one of the most spot on representations of a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man story I've ever played. Like, just outside of comics, this was, because I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh, I don't like doing the puzzles, I don't like doing this. I'm like,
hey, yo,
this really shows that Peter isn't just like, okay, I'm just Spider-Man all the time. It's like, this man is smart. You're sitting here figuring out these spectrographs, and while you're figuring out, he's like, okay, this does this, this does this, this does this. And he was like, okay, you can use this on this, but you got to have something to counteract the effects of it. Like, he's having dialogue about the stuff.
Some of them puzzles had me thinking I needed a science degree myself.
I mean,
I was like,
that's
hey,
For real,
like,
bro.
when it
I was
came
like, can I get a lifeline or something, bro? I was
I ain't gonna front. It took about 5-10 minutes.
I mean, but
When
like,
you guys the lines, I thought those would be the easier ones. When you got like, I was like,
Nah,
all right,
bro.
yeah,
bro.
them shit had me
Hey,
stuck.
slow
And I'm
down.
Yeah,
like,
when you got to the later lines, you kind of
Yeah,
like
bro.
when you got to
Yeah.
put like the plus and negatives in. Like
This
I
ain't
always
gonna work.
start with just putting the plus and negatives in first, and then just
Mhm.
I mean, you'll eventually get the flow of how to work
Yeah.
out everything. It was just like with the circuits. It was like, okay,
Oh man.
don't just
Oh, man.
don't just go
Fucking
like,
circuits,
okay, let me lay down. What I did at first, I was overthinking. I was like, okay, wait a minute, let me lay down the path, and then let me do the math in my head. Like, okay, I got to do a +1 here, +5 here, -3 here to get the number that I need. So I was literally doing the math in my head while I was laying out the path.
Oh god.
that's the way I did. I kind of had to put them down. Like I put them down.
Yeah.
If I'm over or under, then I'll just start swapping
Yeah,
out
that's
the
how I did
numbers.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, I
Right.
late because you got later on, and then you'll have the multiple paths where it'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
you can have one go here, one go here.
oh
Right.
yeah, yo,
And
the ones where like there's like paths that lead to nothing, and you don't
Yeah.
gotta like really.
Oh
look.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yo,
Those
that shit-
ones. I was like, yo, bro.
I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm like, wait a second.
Then
What do they want me to do here?
What
Yeah,
the
because
fuck?
then they also got some that's already installed, and you got to take them out. You know what I'm saying? And put them in somewhere else. So you really got to think and pay attention to that shit, man.
I mean, that part of just that focusing on Peter's science side, then you got Peter's personal life because you really dive into that, and that's the first time you really see that in the Spider-Man game. It's like people don't. I know people just want action, but I'm like this. This is also Peter's story as much as it's Spider-Man story.
That's the thing that pisses me off, Court, is that people want, oh, I just want to play a Spider-Man. But then when you look at the older games that you just playing as Spider-Man, you look at those games as mediocre. This game is adding a huge story element to it to make the game make you want to play as Spider-Man when you're taking those breaks. You know, it's sometimes like, yo, I can't wait to get back Spider-Man.
Yeah.
To do what I gotta do.
It would have been like they'd have been complaining like, oh, it's too many cutscenes. Like, why we got like, but you just want to be Spider-Man, but now you're complaining about the cutscenes of Peter Parker. Like, you're living out the Peter Parker side and you're living out the Spider-Man side. They found a good balance to tell both stories and put it together. Like, hey, you do this, it affects this, and you see the results of what's going on. And then you do something that's Peter, and it affects something later on.
Were y'all reading like the bulletin boards and stuff like that in Octavius industry?
Yeah, I was.
That show was so real to me. I'm like, yo, this game is amazing, bro.
Look, I literally peeped every single thing, and
I went around that. I went around that often. Yeah, I went around
like
that.
when he had the raft diagram up, I was like, he's planning something.
Each time in the story, you see little elements of Doc Ock. I'm like, hold up here. Like, all right, you introduce Octavius, but are you going to have him as Doc Ock? But then you like, yo, oh yeah, this dude about to become Doc Ock.
They introduced him early.
I love that they did that, man, because like you see him, and even when they introduced him, you see him like in a dark, almost in a dark, shadowy thing with the arms and all that, so you know where it's going. But the journey there to see how we go from this dude, man, to this crazy mad scientist dude, and you see that, like, and you usually don't see that in any other Spider-Man game, you know what I'm saying? So that was dope to see that, bro.
Yeah, you don't see development of the villains.
Yeah, you don't see the development.
The story, and you got to fight them. You know,
that build-up was crazy.
But then it was like, just saying a little. As time progressed, you was like, okay, walking to Octavius Anderson, and all of a sudden you see a whole bunch of AIM boxes. You was like, wait a minute, AIM? Huh? Like,
oh yeah, he mentioned AIM in there. Yep.
I'm like, Otto, what is you doing with AIM stuff? Then you see them have all the, newspaper clippings of the Sinister Six, Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion, Electro. I'm like. And then he had Wilson Fisk. I'm like,
that man was plotting.
He was plotting. It was like, if you didn't catch it, you'd be like, okay, he just saved a newspaper. But it started to make sense once you could see him getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and Peter having to, you know, kind of calm him down, like, it's gonna be okay, you know, everything gonna be all right. I ain't gonna leave you, blah, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
So it's like you got the relationship building on Peter's side to where you can see like these people really aren't bad. It's just they going through some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that with Otto, like when they introduced him as early as they did in the game, I automatically, oh, all right, this is the villain. Like I automatically knew.
Yeah, I mean, like as
I'm
soon
like,
as
you're not gonna have him here and not, you know, see him be fully realized. Like I really did like that, like how they did the story like that. And the build up is it makes the end that much more sad.
Yeah,
because it's like you see like why he went from the dude that's trying to help humanity to the dude that's trying to kill Osborn and trying to take over and do all this crazy stuff. You see that, so it's that much more like it's almost as if it's almost poetic because it's like you feel more so for the villain in this case Otto than you do for Peter beating him. Like, you know, even though you have to, it's still messed up.
Yep.
But in terms of like other character, like the other characters, because it's not, even though it's a Spider-Man game, the supporting cast is really what flushed this game out as well.
Yes.
Mary Jane, Miles, his dad, his mom, not Mary Jane, Aunt May, Martin Lee. What's our thoughts on these supporting characters? Because that supporting lineup was magical to me, and I couldn't believe how great the supporting lineup. Oh, and Yuri as well. Yuri, like that supporting lineup, magical. Starting with you, Chuck. That's a point. I need you to lay it on us, man. What's your thoughts?
I definitely do like the supporting cast. I thought Martin Lee or Mr. Nate, I thought he was really good. He kind of stood out a lot. Mary Jane, honestly, was a little bit annoying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's just getting annoying, bro. Like you just kind of getting in the way of shit. Like, you know, I didn't really, because she kind of like turned to like this fucking like like Lois Lane type shit. So I was like, what are we doing here? You know, trying to be the inside reporter, this and that. Miles was cool. I don't really think he got flushed out too much in this game, though. So it's kind of hard to kind of speak on him. I loved Aunt May though. Aunt May's a strong woman.
Man.
She's such a strong one. I love how they portrayed her. Like she wasn't like some broken old sad case. Like she's a strong woman doing good in the community and stuff like that. I think they really hit the nail on the head with her. That was a really good character for him. You know, but I said overall, I did like the cast though. I mean, like I said, I think this the Mary Jane is kind of like annoying a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Spider-Man doing shit just because you getting caught. It's just I didn't like that. That was just I really didn't like that aspect of the game at all. I was being dead serious. But overall,
damsel in distress, man.
But that's it. But I'm like, man, no. Damsel in distress is somebody that's just wrong place, wrong time. She's actually initiating this shit. Like it's dumb. Like, why are you trying to sneak into a base, bro? You got no weapons, no nothing. You know what I mean? She had that stun gun like late in the game, bro. But that was like, yeah,
man, that thing was clutch.
Hey, that shit hit, bro.
Listen, damn sneaking past them. I was walking up to him, laying fools out. Like, yo,
that stun gun that Electro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that joint was clutch though. I ain't gonna be front, but yeah, like I said, overall, man, I did like the interactions, man, and you know, I like I said, I go back to Aunt May, man. It's like what she's dealing with and how they like made her seem like, oh, okay, I'm here to help the people, man. I'm helping the homeless. I'm trying to be better, you know, and not just, you know, feel sorry for myself and stuff like that. And her actually working with Martin Lee is like, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy how they got like all the characters intertwined like that, you know, and none of them know what's really going on, you know, until later in the game when Spidey finds out that Martin Lee was Mr. Negative or whatever. So it's just shit like that. I definitely appreciate it, man. So I did like the interactions between the characters.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
If
Hold up.
man.
It's magical right now. Yo, this is a magical cast, guys. I'm sorry. We got 2/3. 2/3 of the Morgan friends in the building.
2/3.
2/3. It's 2/3.
Hey, stop swallowing the mic.
2/3.
2/3. I don't know. I guess it's 2/3. I don't know.
Oh my
2/3.
God.
Okay, 2/3. It's 2/3. It's 2 out of 3. Okay, we got 2 out of 3 of the Morgan friends here. We got my boys in.
Dude, I told you not to say that while I'm here. Oh my God.
My boys in the building, man. My boys in the building.
Throw it up.
Demi, real quick, introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Demigod Reviews here. Just got through finishing a review. My bad for being late. I'll take the $50 fee.
Happen again.
Facts.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I'm here to talk Spider-Man. Let's do it.
Hey, so since you just started, you can have the floor. In terms of the supporting characters, Martin Lee, Miles, his mom, his dad, Mary Jane, Aunt May, Yuri. Like in terms of the supporting characters that surrounded Peter, what's your thoughts? Like, how do you feel that meshed in the game for you?
I felt like it was a love and hate thing, especially with like the villains that surrounded him. With him finding out Martin Lee was Mr. Negative, and are we fully going in like all spoilers? Okay,
Yeah,
it's full spoilers. All this is a spoiler cast.
Finding out Martin Lee was Mr. Negative, and him finding out that now Doc Ock was becoming Doc Ock with the arms. I think it was great, especially how like they fully fleshed out each character individually and played that around Peter. Especially when they started incorporating Miles into working at Feast and him helping out on May and him trying to get over his own battles and Peter trying to help him also. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. I enjoyed how they wrote each character.
Yeah.
Okay. Dre.
Yeah. I definitely think Aunt May out of all of them was to me, I think the most fleshed out. And if you can even pay attention to it, her the way she is kind of almost the equivalent of Peter. Her and Martin Lee, the way she admired what he was doing and decided to help. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sitting for 8 years crying about Ben's death or whatever, she decided to go out and help Martin Lee, and she knows his backstory and what he's been through and what he's doing for the community. It's pretty much the same thing Peter is kind of doing with Otto. You know what I'm saying? He admires what Otto is trying to do, and he's trying to help him, as I said, to make the world a better place. And it's kind of like an equivalent on both of them. Mary Jane, I do kind of agree with Chuck. She kind of felt too much like Lois Lane. You know what I'm saying? It kind of weird because they had the same job too. Like they both freaking reporters or whatever, or journalists. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of took Peter's job of what Peter was supposed to be, working for the Daily Bugle and all that shit. The one of the main parts I like it was the central what's the central station or a Grand Central mission where her and Peter working together and all that stuff. That thing was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, take out this guy. You see Peter come down and grab him up and all that shit. Freaking Miles, he was alright. He did it. They did, I guess, what they wanted to do. I'm pretty sure they're gonna flesh him out a little bit more in the next game. See, now knowing what we know is gonna happen. So, Martin Lee definitely a pretty good character. I know a lot of people don't know this character. He's a brand new one of the newest villain. So it was a good thing to bring him in this game so people could understand.
Hold on, Dre. He is not new.
One of his newest villains, bruh. It's kind of new.
I mean,
Mr. Negative is like, you know what I'm saying? When did they bring him? It was like 2000 something.
I was like big time.
Yeah, but he's one of the newest villains. Like he's not the Scorpion or Shocker like everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? But that's why. Because even when the game first premiered, it's like, yo, not a lot of people know who Mr. Negative was. Now, I ain't gonna front. I didn't know who he was because I didn't read the comics and none of that. You know.
You know who Anti-Venom is?
Yeah.
You know Mr. Negative then if you know Anti-Venom.
No, I think what he's saying is it's a new character to bring into a game. Like a lot of people.
Oh,
like,
okay.
we never really seen like
You never really seen
nobody outside of Venom, the Scorpion, the regular. You know,
right, the regular villain. You didn't really
I get what you're
see
saying.
him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you know, and to finally see his background, to see how he became what he is, and of course, of course, have to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody did I think what they're supposed to do, so it was cool. You know,
That's what's up. That's what's up. Barry.
I love the supporting cast. I'm kind of on the disagreement side with the Mary Jane thing because just from the beginning scene with Mary Jane, like she's an inspiring reporter and she's trying to get that good beat. So that's why she's taking these like craziness towards her job.
That's Lois
But
Lane.
at the end of the day, you saw how she was so reliant on Peter. She was like, well, you're going to save me. So she's like, I'm putting myself in all this crazy ass situation because at the end of the day, she knows that she got.
Ain't that some shit though? Like, how you gonna tell me I'm gonna save you? You gonna put yourself, getting yourself killed, jumping off a building? Like, you gonna save me, bro? Like, what?
Hey, yo,
I told you not to go, man.
To me, it built on the little love triangle aspect too. Cause Peter trying to get back with Shorty, and Shorty is like, "Yo, you kind of using me a little bit." And
right,
not Peter Parker, but you using Spider-Man a little bit. Okay. He's like, "Yo, I'm still stuck in this like friend zone joint, man. What up?" You know what I mean?
Like, yo, I'm out here jumping from. Saving you, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I feel like in terms of the Mary Jane stuff, I liked it. I did because it
I didn't hate her. I just thought that she was too similar to.
They did give her a real heavy Lois Lane-esque
you're right.
type of role and how she was, which honestly I didn't mind. I liked it because it made her, she hardworking, independent.
You know what? But when I saw that, it reminded me of the opening of freaking Batman vs Superman when Lois Lane is all the way in Africa or some shit, which is not supposed to be. And she got in trouble, man, and because she knows Superman gonna come and save her, bro. And she got this man killing people, bro, for her. Like, you're not supposed to be there. Why you all here for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the shit. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, damn, it kind of remind me of that. You just getting in trouble because Peter's gonna come through and save your ass, B.
Well, let's talk about good stuff because Batman.
Superman
was a simple. Hold on, man. Y'all about to turn this into a versus. Hold on.
We ain't gonna make it a versus.
But in terms of like Mary Jane, I did like her. I like first off, Laura. I love Laura Bailey. Let's get that out the way, man. Like she did Nadine amazing in Uncharted, and I got a little crush on her. Shout out to Laura Bailey.
Really?
Focus, my brother.
But in terms of Mary Jane, I did like the dynamic between her and Peter because it kind of still felt kind of high schoolish in a way because it's like, oh man, especially remember the scene where he lost his apartment. He was going like, yo, I can sleep on a couch. And they like, I can't do that. And it's like, I can't.
I have to go to feed.
It's like, you get there, man. You try to sleep on no couch. You feel me? You try to sleep, you try to get here. You try to get that Mary Jane. So, like him thinking like, stupid, I can't do that. Like, it felt very high schoolish, which I liked because it built that atmosphere of, that whole, love at first sight, high school sweetheart type stuff. I like that. I like that dynamic. And then in terms of her missions, I know a lot of people were saying her missions were boring or like they really wanted to just get back to Spider-Man. But again, even though the game's called Spider-Man, there's still a lot of other moving parts in the Spider-Man universe and world we have to pay attention to and be a part of. I like that aspect of, her doing the whole the Wilson Fisk Museum auction thing, that whole scene, that was amazing. I got like so many pictures in that museum. They had so much like nostalgic stuff there, like that I'm not sure a lot of people caught up on. Like they had Kingpin's his cane with the diamond. I was like, when I look, because I'm walking around, I'm taking pictures. I'm like, yo, this stuff looks amazing. Right now, I look, and I'm like, yo, is that Kingpin's cane? And I had to get a close look. I'm like, oh shit! I got like super hype. I was like, oh shit, it's just cane. Like, yo, it was just amazing to to being there, being there is her. It's like, you learning different things and, they're talking. And I like that. Like that whole investigator type. I like it. I like that. So I really did like that a lot. Miles Morales, his missions, I actually liked a little bit more because that's when they really started introducing the hacking and doing all these different things. I really did like the whole Miles Morales.
That one mission when you had to go to Feast, I thought that was a little bit pointless. When you
when he had to sneak, I'm like, why are you sneaking past Sable?
I'm like, we really didn't need to play as Miles Morales. That's the flesh out his story parts.
That man had to sneak because he didn't want to join that line, bro.
The scene where he had to look for his father, that was powerful. That was a great.
That was great. That was great.
That was powerful and savage at the same time.
And the way they did it was cool because you definitely see from his perspective, and you see Peter hurt over there next to you. You know what I'm saying? Knocked out. You're like, oh shit, like. And then you see
the game was going to transition from Peter to Bowser.
That's what I was waiting for.
Like, all right.
Hey, I definitely thought that was going to happen.
I mean, I didn't really think that because you didn't really see Miles even having no powers to even do that. So it's like, I know that wasn't going to happen. But
the most powerful Miles scene was when Spider-Man came down and was teaching him how to punch.
Yeah, that was
great. I was like,
that was great, man.
And then he actually used that when fighting against those dudes.
That was great. The Miles Morales missions, I think, resonated a little bit more, just a little bit more with me. I did like the Grand Central Mary Jane mission. I think that was so fun. That
was a really fun mission.
I was kicking off everybody with that.
Listen, bro. I was running around. I wasn't even sneaking. Like, listen, y'all gonna die.
And what made that one good is that you ended it off with actual Spider-Man fighting in that.
That was well.
I think that is the example of like a good mission where it meshed them two together like that. Yeah. I like that. I really like that. That was really good. Aunt May is Aunt May. I loved Aunt May. Like as soon as I seen her, I'm like, oh Aunt May, I love him so much. It's so amazing. Like then when you look at Aunt May's office and you see Ben and I'm like,
you see the pictures and stuff.
I'm like,
man.
No.
Aunt May is everybody's aunt, bro.
The
fact that she gave Peter like 100, like some money to
gave him a couple of Benjamins.
Facts. I'm like, yo, Aunt May a real one.
My man, let me know if you need help, bro.
I didn't like one thing I didn't like about Peter that kind of like I feel like they took that from Homecoming. He was calling her May, and I'm like, man, call her Aunt May. Stop playing, bro. Stop that May shit, man. Stop. I didn't like that. That I didn't like. Like, hey, May. Aunt May.
Homecoming. They made it 2000. She should have been instead of the 90s. Yo, you ain't calling your aunt like my aunt name is Linda. I ain't saying, hey, Linda.
Yeah. Hell no.
What you call
my aunt name is Thelma. I'm not calling my aunt Thelma. I'm saying,
yo, facts, yo.
Come on, man.
Hell no, bro.
You out with that one. I was
backhand real quick.
Yeah, that one I was like, yeah, this. And it's like, I guess I don't know, like being around like all my aunts, like even my grandmother, like I still call her, Nana. I'm not calling her by her first name. Like even my mom's or my dad's or whoever, like I'm not calling them by their names. Like that really threw me off. Like really, I'm like,
real quick, can we mention one support what nobody mentioned yet? J. Jonah Jameson.
I was saving him for separate because he's so.
Yeah. Okay.
He needs his own section, bro.
Jay Jonah. We're gonna get to Jay Jonah next. Hold up. We're gonna jump into that. Who else? Martin Lee was great. I feel like with Martin Lee, the ambition behind what he was doing, again, especially when you learn later that Osborn and Otto used him as an experiment and do all these things.
Yeah.
It made seeing what he did understandable because of the anger, because of the they made you really feel more for the villains in this game, which I loved. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, right?
Like Martin Lee was, and them yo, we gonna get into enemies and fighting.
And that's kind of know when you that's kind of when you know there's good writing. Like when you can understand the villains like
Point,
the motivation for what they do, bro. Like that's good writing, man. Like you can't just throw it on the screen and he just mad for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He just ate everybody want to kill him. Like there's got to be a reason to build up, bro. And they did that really good, man.
Yeah. And then Yuri and Pete and Spider-Man's dynamic,
love it.
The whole Spider Cop. Was so great. I was like,
game, bro.
That's my favorite like support characters, Yuri, because that's why I hope this sequel is going to the lead where they're going with her as well. And that character right there, I love that character, Yuri. Please let's put in Mysterio in the second one too, man. And that would just settle all my
Now let's get to the Alex Jones of Spider-Man. Yo, listen, this Jay Jonah, they pulled out all the stops for Jay Jonah. It was amazing. I enjoyed every single Jay Jonah rant that came on the damn screen. Like it was all great. Chuck, let's start you off, man. Jay Jonah, man. Like, what's your thoughts? Is the nail on the head with Jay Jonah?
Like with Jay Jonah, bro. Like I didn't know how they was going to incorporate this guy in this game because he has to be in the game somewhat. And him going from the Daily Bugle to his own, having his own show, bro. It was like I always stopped and listened to what the hell he had to say. I didn't click on no mission or nothing. I'm like I got He even though he like start out like a good point and then he has to find some way to turn it back on Spider-Man. I was just like, bro, like you just pulling shit out your ass now, bro. Like what are you doing? You know, him.
And people was calling me up explaining like, well, your mindset is kind of weird. But
Like Jonah was a savage, bro.
People off and shit when they try to what's that color? I'm getting static, right?
Look.
This man, bro.
Jonah was a beast, bro. Go ahead, man. He was a beast. I definitely enjoyed that.
Jonah was out here. This is what I loved about it. This man had a comment for every single suit you had in the game.
Yeah. You
do something, this man out here be like, yeah, Spider-Man out here swinging around looking like a punk rock. I'm like, what? Like,
my man was wilding, bro.
Like reports of Spider-Man chasing pigeons.
Like, we got reports of Spider-Man swinging through smog clouds. Like, why is he swinging through smog clouds?
Where did the smog clouds come from? Did he put them there?
Like, for real, like, is he trying to get high? You know what he gets high? Degenerates get high. I was like, bro.
Oh damn, bro.
No, then he had something where it was like, when he was fixing the water pipes or something, they had pressure build up. He was like, I seen Spider-Man today messing with the water pipe. Look, then somebody call in and be like, you know what? You give Spider-Man the hard time for no reason. Like, he saved my son from some criminals out of the trunk of a car. He was like, yeah, because Spider-Man put him in the trunk and he's trying to get him. Like, oh my God, dude. I was like,
what he's like, yo, because he's complaining about everybody is getting arrested. Like, what? But he's like, yo, yeah, you might have saved us and all that, but did you think you deserve? You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is getting arrested, and he's like, join me on my next segment, and I'll let you know the answer. Spoiler alert: no.
The funniest one when he fired his intern live on the air.
Oh,
you're fired. You're rehired. Then you're fired again.
When he started like yelling, and it was like, I'm like, dude,
he was banging on the callers, bro. I'm like, bro, these callers
banging on them, bro. All right, people. His whole thing remind me of like the Mimir stories, but like every time this man comes on, I got to stop what I'm doing and I'm listening to everything, but because this shit.
That's what makes, to me. That's what made the web swinging fun too, man. Like, yo, I'm traveling, but I want to hear this man Jay Jonah come up.
Look, the only thing that would have made it better if they'd have got old boy from the Sam Raimi
Yes,
Spider-Man.
bro.
That would have
been crazy.
that'd have been great. Cause I'd have been sitting there like, oh my god, like Jonah, what did you do? But this Jonah, I love to death. Cause I was like, y'all can't give everybody a dang talk show, but if y'all gonna give this man a talk show, boy.
Man, oh man,
you blame me, Spider-Man, for his fuck up. When you found out he donated he donated to help Shocker with a suit. Stopping Spider-Man, and he realized he turned out to be a maniac. You know what? I didn't have to do that. It's Spider-Man.
They was blaming Spider-Man for Scorpion too. He's like, I know I helped Matt Gargan become the Scorpion.
I'm like, but I would have did that because yo, this man,
Jay Jonah was amazing. But how did y'all feel about Osborn?
Oh man, Osborn is one of those. It's tricky to decipher at first because you can see him being the mayor. He's in power, okay, yada yada. But it's like this man got a secret agenda somewhere in here.
Yeah,
he got a dark secret he don't want to tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I think I said this to y'all like way before we even did this podcast, but I was like, the whole story is a story of duality. Like a person can seem one way on the surface and be completely different under.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with Osborn, it's like, yeah, I'm the mayor, people love me, blah blah blah. But it's like you're in power, but it's something just ain't too right about you. Like it's almost like you're too like you care, but you don't care. You just in it.
Cause you go in there knowing who he is, man. It's like, yo, there gotta be a something, but like, you know what I'm saying, on all this fake, you know what I'm saying, good guy shit you're doing, you know what I'm saying? There gotta be a reason.
Because it was like when, going into the finale of the game when he was dropped off through Spider-Man saved him and he went into the building. It wasn't like he was scared. It was like he looked up and cracked a smile. It was like, bro, you almost died. And you just up here like
that man dipped out.
You like, whatever, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You like,
say thank you or nothing. He just like,
I ain't staying around while an octopus and a spider fighting. I'm
like your job, bro.
I'm out of there.
Supposed to say that.
But focus on them.
But yeah, Norman, I see his transformation coming. And of course, when you got to the end, we'll probably talk about that post-credit scene in a while. But when you get to the end, it's like, okay, this is your secret, but it's also foreshadowing what you're gonna do next.
Yeah.
So,
because there's in Norman's apartment.
There's a lot.
It's a lot of Easter eggs.
But I'm gonna say it ain't even just that. For some, just like when you were talking about Mary Jane and how everybody didn't really like the mission, I'm like, Mary Jane's missions had the most Easter eggs.
Yep.
The whole game.
That mission in the bit, I do like that one. That was cool.
Yeah, because Mary Jane stuff is, even though this game is like 8 years apart from when he got bit and when Uncle Ben died, you are still learning about the timeline within that through the Mary Jane stuff, and even when you're collecting the book bags. And
I mean, you have to think about it. Mary Jane, when you go to Grand Central Station, you see the hoverboard, you see the stealth tech, you see all this stuff that Goblin is going to use in the future. You see it, and people like, it's the Mary Jane mission. I'm like, but you ain't picking up on the little
paying attention.
You ain't looking at the clues,
fella. Somebody playing the game. They're not really like a fan of the character. They're like, I'm just playing a Spider-Man game.
I want to play Spider-Man.
But like me, I'm up there, especially like when we was in Fisk auction, I was up there paying attention to everything. I'm like, I recognize that. I was up there literally looking for the stuff. And then when you got to Osborn's apartment,
I was looking all around there, yo. I seen the prototype. the prototype Green Goblin mask on the desk. I said, "Oh, let's get a picture of that."
See them
Even the bombs too.
Bombs and all that.
on
Yeah.
there, too. Yeah.
Oh
it was
yeah,
right
you
there.
actually you actually see the bombs in Spider-Man's gadget thing, the spider thing. That's the Green Goblin bomb. That's it. Just the Spider-Man version.
Oh, the web bomb.
Yeah, the web bomb.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's what that is.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
You know what's crazy about the mask? They're so slick with it and the placement. They actually made you use it to help you progress the story as well. So they like, hey, we're putting this right there. We're putting this nugget right there in front of you. You can't miss it.
Yep.
But not too many people actually picked up on that, which is crazy.
Hey, I picked up on. Yo,
you
listen,
don't hear many people actually talk about those moments, and they had more masks to like inspire the Goblin mask as like statues standing outside his office.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was the whole time I was playing this game, I was also checking. First off, I was like, I was hoping that Goblin would have been in this one, but I was checking everything for like different villains to see. At the Halloween party, if you ain't walking around, it was some gems there.
Yep.
They had everybody. They had Lizard, Mysterio,
all of that.
They had the old school Shocker costume, dude. I got
old Rhino. I was like, old Vulture. I was like, boy, we ain't seen Vulture in this suit.
Yeah, that old school Vulture. Ooh.
Hey yo, did y'all see the shirtless spider?
Yeah,
I saw that shit. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, you talking about the Greggy spider?
Yeah, bro. I was like, "Come
Greg
on,
is in here."
man.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
As soon as I saw that shit, I'm like,
crazy.
really, bro?
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, if they put the wedding proposal that my man asked for, of course they're gonna put Greg.
Hey,
Greg on this.
You're right.
Hey, that man took an L on that wedding.
Man.
That shit.
That's an L. That ain't no L. That's an elemental P.
No, the crazy thing is,
somebody used it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say somebody actually used it and got married off that.
Hey, listen, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
One man's L is another W.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys something real fast. Let me ask you. So, one of the big points early in the game is when Doc Ock catches Peter working on the suit. Like, what do you guys think about that point? Because I think did you think he already knew?
Right there. He, I don't think he was 100% sure, but when he gave him the suit, that's what probably confirmed it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when he got to end of the fight. He might have something in that suit, man.
I think so. Yeah,
I think it's a two-part to this. I think you might have had a speculation.
Yeah, that's what when I first said he probably wasn't sure 100%, but once he gave him the suit.
But then when Martin caught him at Feast, and they linked up later, it was like, so Peter is Spider-Man, right? Like I had a feeling that he would be. So, when they got to the top of the raft, and Electro said, "Hey, boss said don't kill him."
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So
but that's what I'm saying. That's after you give him the suit and all that, because even after the last fight, when he cracked the suit, and Peter's like, "You knew," and then he looked down at the suit, and so you saw the advanced suit that he made him, and he looked back up and was like, "Oh, you knew," and like that's why he was mad. Like this whole time you knew he was me and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
so
he been
that suit.
He been new from the rip. I just think him seeing the suit confirmed
it.
Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, he kind of knew because he's also late as hell all the time.
He's always late. And you also gotta look at it as well. Yo, Dr. Octavius is a smart human being. He's not
he ain't dumb at all.
Otto ain't stupid. You feel me?
Yeah, and the thing, and his mindset when he found out Spider-Man was doing something good for the city, he viewed Spider-Man as somebody good. Obviously that kind of changed throughout. But yo, you bringing that part up, I have to go comic books real quick. My bad, yo, because that was one of my favorite scenes. Because like I said, in Big Time, the storyline in Big Time, there's a character called Max Modell. That pretty much was the embodiment of like Max Modell, because Max Modell was like a character that Peter Parker looked up to. Like he praised Peter Parker. I mean, Parker praised him because he's like, this guy's like one of the smartest beings, like on rival of like Tony Stark and Reed Richards. And Peter Parker praised him. And they molded Max Modell in Dr. Octavius in that scene right there, and the same little scene happened where Parker was fighting against Hobgoblin, and he came in there like naked as hell and was like fixing the suit, and Max Modell came in and was like, oh, so you making suits for Spider-Man, like in a sly way? And it was like the same exact little thing. I was like, yo, these guys are amazing right here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I definitely like that part though, because it kind of like it was very like ambiguous. Like you didn't really know if he knew or not. And it's like Parker, he's like, it's nothing. You know, he was just kind of like, oh shit, like what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Then the next day, he's like, I get some upgrades for you, this and that. You know, I'm glad you helped me out. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, like,
you know
I saw your upgrades, and I decided to make some few more upgrades for your
you
know how he likes it.
Yeah, you know what's the part I genuinely enjoyed about this game? I enjoyed the implement of obscure villains.
Yes.
That's something.
We about to get into the villains. Go ahead. You started it up. You already
I think the implement of how they implemented Tombstone, Screwball, Taskmaster, all the way they implemented all of them in like each mission, I actually enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would. Especially the Screwball mission, because she just led you on. Yeah. She led you on completely and tricked you up. But she really didn't do anything to get arrested. If you really think about it.
The thing about Screwball missions,
everybody else doing
the Screwball missions, the reason why I like those the most too is because them barcodes, I was like, yo, this is like
the barcode.
I really like this. Like, this
one in Harlem, you have to get that angle perfect.
Bro, that was annoying, bro.
I ain't go for it. I was like 80, 90 feet in the air getting the bangles properly.
Yo, matter of fact, during that video, everybody was saying that they beat the game, and I'm like, yo, I'm stuck in this freaking
barcode.
Oh, you talk about the one? I know which one you talk about.
It was like the first one. Like an angle. Nah, it was the second.
The first one was the one that had me struggling because it's concave, so you kind of gotta be up and then like angled a certain way for it to go straight.
I know you talking.
And I'm like, yo, what the hell? And I'm standing in front of this thing trying to take pictures. It ain't working. I'm like, yo, what is going on here?
You are not in the line. I'm like, come on, man. It's perfect.
I'm like, yo, but the one where there's the one it's like almost on the one building, but then it's another building. Yeah. Hey, I already know you got to go all the way back to get that.
You have to go all the way back.
I was like, all right, that's fine. That was Screwball mission was good. Yo, Tombstone.
That was a reference I didn't expect.
I didn't expect Tombstone.
I was shocked at that one too, man. And y'all remember? Yeah, I was like, yo, I hope Tombstone is in the game as far as like DLC, but I didn't know he was going to be in the game as far as like the game.
Yo, he looked.
They made him a beast.
The way they implemented them was like great because like you're doing a Mary Jane mission trying to figure out what's going on with the demons, and then you see Tombstone also work like he just comes out of nowhere and he's working with the demons. It sets up for his side mission so that you can see what he's doing. Like what are you doing?
Hold on, you're skipping an important part of the scene. That dude got bodied in that.
Oh my God. I recorded that.
Yo, can we talk about that for a second? G friendly. This game is not G friendly. Yo,
it's not, bro. You see the man and you hear the crack, bro. I was like,
I was like, that was some bullshit. I was like,
I couldn't. The way Tombstone. This is why I love Tombstone. The way he like slammed him to the ground and was like, boom. I'm like, yo.
Oh, man.
Yo, and that built fear for you. Cause I was a little scared. Cause I'm like, damn, I'm only Mary Jane in this joint. I got.
If they would have had you fight him as Mary Jane, I ain't got the taser yet. I don't got the taser yet, guys.
What the taser when you need
Did she have the little spider distractor that Peter gave her at that point?
No, she didn't have nothing.
God damn, bro.
You got a camera.
She was pushing over two of us.
You about to cannon him to death.
Yeah, bro. You have to flash the light, bro, blind him and bounce, man.
Yo, Tombstone looked really great. Really great. Good voice acting.
Tombstone was kind of a savage.
He looked very.
I
Very
would
scary.
say, no, screw all that. Everybody was savage because Martin Lee and his crew wasn't giving two fucks.
Hey, Martin Lee was out there killing motherfuckers like it was
demon.
nothing.
Martin Lee was. Martin,
My nigga gives no fucks, bro.
Bro,
That's
it was
savage Martin Lee was. He had
Chinese
the folks at feast trying to fight him. I'm like, yo, Martin,
Yo, facts, yo.
what you doing, man?
like, these niggas on some Alu Akbar type shit. They didn't give no fucks on that goddamn
Yo,
shit.
let me ask y'all, how did y'all feel about that? Because now we're gonna kind of like delve into like the villains and like trying to like flesh out the story. How did you feel about? I feel like my favorite mission, combat wise, was that raft. That raft mission was.
Oh, hell yeah.
That raft mission was amazing. But
All
how
I
did you
gotta
guys
say
feel
that,
about
that
the
raft mission? If you wasn't doing the pigeon chases and all that stuff,
You
and
wasn't
you going into that,
you was
not knowing
struggling.
how to dodge and all that, yo.
Oh yeah, he was getting washed.
You
He
getting
was getting
washed.
washed. But how did you guys feel about the introduction of the other villains, Scorpio and the rest of them, and their inclusion into the game, and you having to do their fight them with their missions and stuff like that? How did you guys feel about that?
Oh, I absolutely loved it because they got history with Spider-Man. They know him. They was like, okay, let's, we got this new person that's about to break us out or don't broke us out. Just follow his plan. Because again, if you go to Otto's lab, like at the end of the game, you can look at that diagram again. The path that Electro takes you on is the path that Otto drew out for the whole plan. You're like, okay, here, break out Electro. Electro gonna lead this man all the way around and up to the roof.
And beat the shit. And beat his ass.
Yo, did you see when Martin
dog
kicked?
shit on the spider?
Stop for muscle and that.
Yo, remember when they got to the roof and he was fighting all of them? Remember when Scorpion stabbed him and he fell to the ground and then Martin ran up and kicked him?
I'm like, hey,
I was like, what the fuck?
That was a good thug. That was a good thug.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just like,
Real talk, yo, Martin had like, he had some bad blood with this dude, Spider-Man. Like,
He just came off a recent arrest too, so he definitely about to get the kick.
Real talk, that wasn't Martin. That wasn't Mr. Negative kicking Spider-Man. That was Martin kicking.
Look, bro.
Nigga, I told you to stay away, man.
Hold on. Y'all up here missing niggas though. When Rhino punched that mo, I was like, nigga, I know
Rhino
you were.
slayed him, bro.
Yo, go back and watch the scene with Mr. Negative. That was not that was Martin.
No, that was a Martin Lee.
That was
kick.
Martin. That was Martin because he saw him come out the room. He was like, "Oh, word."
Yo,
that was one of those
that
niggas
was
you
Martin
made
kicking
me.
people, bro. I'm sorry.
He's like, yeah,
Like,
all right, we got this.
Look, that was one of those. Hold on. That was one of those kicks like, nigga, you made me lose my job. Fuck you.
Yeah, he did put all the strength for that.
Yo, when I seen
him leave
that
out the
scene,
room.
when I seen that scene, I was in this house crying. I was laughing. That was funny because like you pick up on those little things, like you feel the anger and the hits and then the kicks and like it was great.
like we finally got you after all these years.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For this now, you know. So, yeah.
Oh,
I definitely felt that.
Look,
Alright,
we
so
all
Trey.
know Electro was enjoying that shit. He was just like, yeah, get him.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Which, after the raft, fight or whatever, which boss fight did you guys like the most? Outside, I mean, obviously Otto. We all
Otto.
Outside of that one, but
I say
like
Rhino and Scorpion. That was actually my favorite.
that one was hard.
Look, I did not. I'm gonna tell you the trick with that Rhino Scorpion fight. Just let Rhino do all the damage to Scorpion. Just that's all.
Come on, and have him to charge you in a certain area.
I think I like that Scorpion mission though, where you were chasing Otto and
that to me that was my favorite.
I still say they
That's
should
my
have had
favorite
Uncle Ben in the flashbacks, bro.
They should have. That would have been.
Now,
My personal favorite was Vulture and Electro.
Vulture and Electro.
He was just in the air fighting, and that I was like, "This is sick as hell, bro." I'm not like,
Honestly, my favorite was Mr. Negative. That big fight. That
that fight was.
That was ill. That was.
I love that.
Now,
that was amazing.
I just say the Electro Vulture fight because you got Electro causing mass distractions and out of nowhere, Vulture just like hey, hold up.
That one is so different and obscure, like as a boss fight, because you're limited just to the air, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No touching the ground in that fight.
There's no touching the ground.
Man,
so it's like but I did like the dynamic of having to fight two villains at once, because like, okay, it always kept you on your toes.
Yeah,
you didn't have to just focus like, okay, I just focus on certain. Now you gotta literally watch your front, watch your back, downs, whatever. It's like
Rhino and Scorpion, I wanted to fight them individually, but it's cool that we fought them together.
Yo, listen,
because I enjoy
that Rhino Scorpion, the devil, man. I died like 2 times.
When they started talking trash to each other, bro, that made it more hilarious.
Rhino hits you, you're done, bro. You got
you can't take no damage from Rhino, bro. Believe me, I found that out.
You are done, bro.
But what was so great about the Rhino Scorpion fight as well is because you could tell they had their own little love-hate dynamic.
That's what I was saying, because they started fucking each other and all that shit. So it's like,
they were like, hey,
stupid, what are you doing?
Like, you called me stupid.
What are you doing? We got to get the spider. It was great.
But I will say they had Rhino on fucking point, being as big as he was. That motherfucker was.
That stuff I liked with him and Miles.
Yeah, hey, I was actually terrified. I was like, bro,
that Miles fight. That Miles fight was scary, man.
That one got me a little shook. I was like, all right, let me.
I got caught like
R1 in that one. I was like,
I got caught 2 or 3 times. He's like, I got you. And I'm like,
snipe the shit out of you.
Oh no.
I got caught like the beginning where you going like under, like at the beginning after you like turn on, I think you turn on like the forklift or something. You underground. I didn't know this motherfucker was gonna be. That scared the fuck out of me, bro. Because you can't really see him.
You want to know what?
And he was like right there. That shit scared the fuck out. I was like, damn.
You want to know what escalated that stealth mission? If you'd have had Scorpion stalking you.
Ooh,
that would have been crazy.
Because it's bad enough having Rhino just crashing through shit, but if you got Scorpion just up there crawling around, and you just see the tail pop up, you're like, hey.
You know what made them stealth missions cool though? It's not just a simple get to this area. You got to watch out for the glass and all that too, man. Little boxes, that stuff always. Like, I was like, yo, damn it, man, y'all put glass.
wait, hold on. Here was the fucked up part of the stealth mission. It was like glass, and you got to zigzag through the glass, and there's like boxes right there. It's like, like let me squeeze to the right for a little bit. Like, bro, who did this?
Yo, Miles had a lot of like scary stealth scenes, because the one with Mr. Negative when he was trying to get to his pops, and them demons was like, they will body you,
man.
And then the Rhino one,
everybody.
Yeah, he got some crazy.
The Rhino one was really good. I definitely enjoyed that one, man. It felt like it was actually something on the line, bro. Because Rhino's like one touch death, bro. Especially with him. My man, he ain't taking no damage.
Let me ask you guys, in terms of shit, I lost my train of thought. In terms of like how Miles got bit, how did you guys feel about that?
I'm glad it happened that way. Like, 'cause when I seen Mary Jane walk in that secret area that Norman had, and you see all the
whole topic in itself, we don't talk about that.
But I ain't talking about, but I'm just saying she walked in there and she seen these cases with spiders. It was like, does Norman still have the spiders that from that time when Peter got bit? I'm like, it can't be. But then you see one that has a 23 on it. It's like, okay. And then that spider gets on Mary Jane because Mary Jane, being all clumsy and shit, knocks a case over.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to say shit because, like, oh shit, it's a spider right there, but Sable's right there.
Sable will fuck you up, bro.
Like, can't say shit.
Beast. I love Sable, man.
Yeah, we all Sable.
That is no games, bro.
How do you guys feel about Silver Sable?
That
she was implemented dope. I like her.
I thought she should have been paralyzed, bro. But hey, that's just wow. Helicopter, bro, landing on her knees, my nigga. Like, hey. Like you ain't no
Hey,
super.
bro.
You ain't got no power.
Hey,
to be a
bro.
regular human.
She could have killed Spider-Man.
I know she.
Spider-Man easy. Like,
Sable was handing out them ass whoopings real quick. It was like, bah, bah. Nope, not today, bro.
Yeah,
she's
she played
a
no
monster.
game. She got a job. She gonna get that job done. But nah, going back to the Miles Morales thing. You know I'm an origin like freak, and I like the implementation of the Jefferson Davis part. But when I saw them added that Jefferson Davis part, I thought they was going to introduce Aaron Davis, but they didn't. But they tweaked the story. I know it's original story, but you know, at the end of the day, you got an original source material, use it. But it was still cool. I can't get mad. I was still. I'm biased. It was. Still
I
cool.
honestly thought Mary Jane was gonna get bit in that scene. To be
bro,
honest,
I swear to God,
I didn't think that because
I never thought she was gonna get.
Yeah.
But when she read off the powers or whatever, the electricity and the camouflage, I was like, okay, now we know where this is going.
But no, I was up there like she ain't gonna get bit. They gonna find some way somehow to get this to Miles.
Get it to Miles, yeah.
It was like, oh wait, I'm magically at peace. Guess who's still on me? This damn fucking spider.
She had a lot of money.
Number 48. Yeah, she had a lot.
Yeah.
But it was still just funny because like, oh, Spider gets off his feet. So I was like, oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Spider swings
it
down
bites
to
on
the
me.
box. Oh, I know where this is going. Miles,
Walk in the room.
like, well,
But
wait a minute, Persona. I know what something you didn't bring up. What about the new suits all the villains got?
They got a little upgrade.
what about the extra motives that all the villains had too? Because there was some moments where if you read everything, Electro's trying to just turn into pure energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like-
Electro was trying to turn into pure energy.
And
that's that scene. That was actually a really good scene because it really did give a backstory. I like the way they did that because they gave a good backstory to why the villains were doing what they're doing, why they were siding with Otto and things like that. That was actually really, really, really love how they implemented that. And there's a reason why you had to go through there.
You talking about the end scene with the memos?
Yeah, like when his secret hideout in that little building.
Yeah, that was dope.
And like it showed that Electro he wanted to become pure energy, and Otto created something for him. Ultra wanted his cancer gone. Otto said he was working on a cure for that. Rhino wanted his suit off, so he was working on a cure for that. And Scorpion wanted
Scorpion
wanted to be normal again. He
wanted to be normal. He wanted to do that. And Negative wanted payback for Osborn.
But it was like, because I've seen people commenting like, why doesn't Electro have his mask? And I'm like, you do know they referenced that in one of Peter's backpacks about why Electro is kind of like this. The first time they meet, he burns out. His mask is literally a pattern on his face now.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, you can
So I'm like, people out there like, why he ain't got his mask? I'm like, his mask is on his face. Do you have that big ass scorch?
You see the imprint off it.
Yeah, so I'm like, y'all tripping about a mask. It's still there.
Yeah, character models is like really good for the Shocker, bro. He looked crazy, bro. I was like,
yo, Shocker was how many screenshots? I took a lot of screenshots when boss fight. Like, yo, these guys look pretty
the
good.
game looks.
I think you know what, Vulture surprised me on how he looked. He almost looked like Michael Keaton a little bit. Like he just bald his head. I was like, that motherfucker look like Michael Keaton a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. But I was like, I was digging that suit. I was like, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
Because under that beak is a respirator for him. I was like,
I love the bat talk, man. He's like, come on, Toombs. We've been at this so many times, Toombs. Yo, found that, B.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's get into this combat. Combat gadgets.
Not as good as Arkham. Game over. Let's move on.
Look. Batman didn't
side
start
missions,
this shit.
collectibles. Let's get into the nitty gritty of that. In terms of enemy types, what was your favorite enemy type to fight? Was it the regular thugs, the demons, or the Sable? Sable for me, because them Sable was savage,
bro. Oh my god.
Look,
I died a lot to the Sable.
let's just keep it 100. when you seen a little small group of sabers, like okay, but when them motherfuckers rolled up 3 APCs deep and shit, I'm like, bruh.
Damn that! When you had to do the Sable Outpost, woo,
man, the
that
motherfuckers
one,
hard, bro.
the Sable Outpost in
Oh,
Central
yeah.
Park, Lord.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh my God.
It's not. It's like, bro, they got the most snipers. They got the most air
Rockets.
support. They got the most rockets.
It's not.
They wanted you to do a crazy challenge for the one in Central Park. You had to do like a 60-5 to 70 hit combo.
I barely
did it.
got them.
I did
Barely
that,
got, I got it at the end too, off of the jetpack
Look,
dudes. I kept like
Oh,
pulling
yeah,
them in
yeah.
and webbing them
I
and
got
stuff.
that. That's when you click that. That's when you click that super real quick. You press that triangle and that circle, and you
Oh.
boop.
Listen, I live for that spider, bro. Yo, that spider,
Me?
bro, was my shit.
This is what I did. I was like, okay, I got this where I can hit a dang special twice. So somebody gonna get hit with this. We're gonna get this combo going. These goddamn electric shock gloves gonna come in handy.
Hell yeah, bro. Them punches, bro. That shit, them
I
club. You
was
hit
like-
one nigga and everybody gets stunned.
I was like,
Yo,
I ain't
yo,
gonna use them. But today, these motherfuckers gonna have to go because y'all doing too goddamn much. Got all these damn snipers posted up and all that, man. Look,
Yeah, I think the thing about the Sables though is like when they in the group and they all shoot you at the same time, bro. Like
You getting
man,
shot.
fucking
You feel that.
you getting
getting
laid
hit by
down.
something.
I'm
You
like,
feel it.
hold up, bro. I got the more
when-
focus. I gotta swing away and shit. That shit was crazy. I gotta get the fuck out of
When
here.
you got the APC gun shooting you, and then you got the jetpacks, then you got the snipers, then you got
If you ain't take out them snipers, oh
That's
you
yeah.
gotta take out the
Yeah,
sniper
yeah.
first, bro.
You gotta take them
Gonna
snipers
kill
out,
you.
bro. And those are the times you gotta really pull out them gadgets, bro. I mean, them shits work for you,
Look,
man. Because
Yeah,
but that's the
man.
thing. If you already engaged in combat, fucking gadgets wasn't latching on the motherfucker. You just up here like, nigga, I really gotta catch y'all slipping.
That's why I had to use Unrelenting Fury, man, because that helped me out
Oh
so
yeah,
much in the later
just
game.
gonna be like, hey, y'all can't block this shit no more.
Oh yeah.
Get on out of here.
What was your favorite enemy type, Demi?
Honestly, I kind of like fighting the inmates because they had hilarious like statements every time you hit them. Oh my God, he's destroying us all! Get the spider! I'm not going back to Rikers.
you know, you can't get him when he's up there. Get him down.
Yo, hey, you know what subtype?
Yo, he did say no.
Hold on. Here was a subtype enemy that got slept on though. The motherfucker with the whips.
Oh my god, I hated them.
They get straight gadget or the super ability when you press the L1
They was getting that quick, but if you have to fight them motherfuckers in the group and they ain't catch, they was like, "Oh, you try to catch?"
They dodge, bro. They dodge you.
Yeah, you
know
trying
what
to
I'm
whip
saying?
them up
So
and
you
they
can't-
snap your shit away. I'm like,
Even if you try to like shoot webs at them, they keep burning them. I'm like, what?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I hate them motherfuckers, bro. I got
No, you know who else got annoying? The demon with the sword, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
shit.
Yeah,
That's why I'm going with the demon for me as like the first enemy.
Oh, but
because they got the more. They can mix you up too, man. With the big dudes, like you forget the big dudes. They got that little stomp where the where they around and
But-
yeah.
you know what?
Big
But
dudes.
them
look.
brutes though, them niggas got range, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was gonna say
So when the big dudes come rushing you, dude, that's
Nice.
Hey, man,
It's like
That's
when you fall,
Debo hit
when you
red,
fall
bro.
when you fall to the ground and get back up, they're already like mid into their next attack. So if you
Yup.
dodge fast enough, they gonna beat.
Hey,
They
you
gonna
know what,
slam you
bro?
down. Yo, listen,
He hit you like Debo hit red, bro.
wet bombs, bro.
listen. I died by one of these big dudes because I was web pulling people, and the big dude pulled me in, and I fell in front of him. And then he slammed his foot down, and then I'm getting up trying to jump up, and he grabbed me again, and he slammed me down, and I died. I said, "Yo, what?"
Hey, yo, be real, yo. How many times y'all died in the beginning fighting this game with the big dudes?
hey, the big boys got their hands. They ain't even.
I was dying more so to them Sable dudes, man.
Look,
them Sable and demons.
Nah,
It was-
I was
it
dying.
was-
I was dying. The big dude was fucking me up.
I'm
bro.
gonna keep it a buck.
because with the 3 punches that do back to back, you wasn't expecting it at first.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying? Because the first time they did, you dodge, you're like, okay, I'm good. Then they did it right again, and you dodge. But they be tracking you, bro. That shit tracks you, fam. Like
if you don't perfect dodge, you're gonna get clipped sometimes.
Yeah.
Bro, whenever big dudes came out, I pull out that little spider drone that shoot the things.
Look,
I was like,
look, this is when you also realize you can't spam that dodge button.
Can't spam it, bro.
You can't. You be dodging for nothing. You hit.
Once I got the anti-gravity field, them dudes was nothing.
But no, I'm giving them big perfect dodge. Look, fuck that. I'm giving them big boys credit because them motherfuckers were laying hands on Spider-Man. I don't give a damn.
Oh yeah,
they were laying hands on.
They was. Whew. Yo, listen, man.
Especially you guys,
the
dudes with the gun shooting at you at the same time.
Yo, look, this is why Sable my favorite. I was doing one of the outposts, and I think it was like the first one I was doing to take out the Sable outpost. And I'm fighting Sable, whatever, we fight, doing some stuff. They got the light things, whatever. So then I'm fighting this one, and I'm using all my gadgets on him, and nothing's working. And I'm hitting him, but it sounds like I'm hitting like a punching bag. Like he's absorbing all the hits. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on?
I'm gonna say all that armor.
I'm like, the Sable dudes too. When you do your finishes, sometimes they're not dead, bro.
They don't die. They don't die. They get up. They'll get up.
You gotta do like 2 finishes to get them dudes out.
Nigga, you gotta punch all the goddamn armor.
Are you hearing this clunk, 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 clunk?
Yeah, it's like
pink, pink.
And what pisses me off too is when they pull up and you forget that you gotta worry about the gun turret on the
turret, bro.
That gun turret, man. That thing is taboo. That gun turret is
shit. I made sure as soon as these motherfuckers stop, I'm taking that motherfucker out.
That's the first thing I'm going for, bro. When they pull up,
I learned that later in the game. Like I gotta take this turret off, bro.
Yeah, take that turret down.
Or tower first. Tower, that shit gotta go.
And then
gotta go.
Oh yeah, the tower. Oh yeah, you getting fighting.
Yeah, you gotta take the tower out because that up there is gonna kill you.
Look, nigga, I was up there swinging random Sable crime on top of a roof, right? These motherfuckers got a tower. I'm mid-swing in the air. I look at that tower. I'm like, nah, that bitch got to come down.
Yeah, you gotta
pull that motherfucker down mid-air. Like,
once you pull that down, man, I got comfort. I'm like, I ain't gotta worry about that shit.
Oh, I ain't pull it down. I just kicked that nigga right through it.
For the most part, I pull the whole tower down, bro. I'm like,
this is why I pulled it down because they was all under that motherfucker. I'm like, this was clean sweep.
Yeah,
half them motherfuckers gone. Cool. All of a sudden, the flying motherfuckers show up. I'm like,
oh man,
the flying dudes is annoying, bro.
Yeah, the flying dudes.
Target SM1. Target SM1.
Challenges with them niggas, man. It's like, come on, bro.
How did you guys feel about like the black cat, the black cat collectibles and like all the other collectibles and stuff that you had to do? Did those things feel like a chore, or did you enjoy that stuff?
The black cat ones was fun because I actually enjoyed it. That one actually had me like stumped a little bit. I'm like, yo, where is it, bro? And I kept looking around for a minute, bro, until the controller vibrated a little bit.
That's definitely the setup for that Black Cat DLC. Though I can see why they put the trailer out for that, like before the game.
It's cool, man, because you getting story lore with it, man. Like, you're doing stuff.
And she gives you one of the coolest suits in the fucking game, man.
Oh yeah, the dark suit.
If you actually pay attention, it does make some references to what you're gonna see in that DLC.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like, what are you planning, Felicia? Like, what you going on? You got something big?
Because she's planning a great heist, like for some family, because they do references family consistently.
Yeah,
but then they also played it off like when you got to the end. Yeah, she gave you reward for figuring everything out and finding all these cats.
We ain't gonna forget.
But her motive for having all those cats for you to find them, to put them in the police department in the evidence locker. Yeah. So she knew exactly where to go.
Savage, bro. She's savage as fuck, bro.
So he was like, damn, I got played. Like, no shit. She always play you, fool. You ain't learned yet.
Yep.
Man.
Like, but then if you didn't notice about the suit, it actually has cat claws on it.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah. No, it does. It does. That's a good question. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, overall, I think the collectible is fun. I tell people this all the time. I'm not really a collectible guy. I've never been that type of gamer. And I'm like, but it being Spider-Man and just being able to get from one point to another in like an enjoyable way, I didn't mind going to look for anything. I was like, fuck it, let me go do these landmarks. Let me go get these backpacks. I never complained about it. Not one time. I was like, damn, this.
But here was the funny thing about all this, Chuck. You seen people complain about the pigeons, but it wasn't like they just said, "Oh, go collect pigeons." There was a story behind
this. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense.
And every time we try to tell people about that, or you say, "Hey, you don't have to collect them," they try to give you some excuse as to why. Well, you know, this forcing you to do this. It's not forcing you to do anything.
They're comparing it to see it.
Called side missions for a reason.
Like if you don't want 100% the game, you don't have to do it. But it's like there is a story within you collecting the pigeons. Backpacks is just building on stuff that's already happened. So you can sit here and say, "Oh, okay, this is the first time he fought Rhino, the first time he fought Mysterio."
Yeah, it's like a backstory without having to actually play it, which is good. I like that.
Like, hey, how did I get the idea for my eyes to, focus and do all this other stuff? Oh, I got that from Mysterio. So you understand why his mask does what it does.
At the end of the day, it gave you a reason to web zip too. You know what I mean? Like I was doing the traversal, man, was fun. But yeah, it
helped. It actually helped you improve on certain stuff.
Exactly, bro. It's them pigeons. Like I'm telling you, if you didn't do certain things with them pigeons, bro, you gonna struggle.
Especially later on for when you need them during them Taskmaster challenges.
Fam, let's talk about.
Oh my god,
please.
Yo, I got them saves. I got them all saves. I'm like,
Taskmaster challenge. The drone challenges were not. Oh my
god! It took me a while
because you can't just swing. You have to zip to stay at that altitude to go through the goddamn bubble.
So which one was the hardest to you guys?
The one that was near Oscorp.
The one that was near Harlem.
I think that's the one.
As far as what challenge, like the stealth?
The drone.
Oh, not the drones.
The stealth one was.
The combat ones were easy too.
The combat ones were look easy, but the drones for me, bro.
The drones is easy to me. Yo, real talk. The hard one for me is the stealth in the Upper East Side. Bro, I can't get it.
The stealth ones was easy.
Them stealth ones fast.
Look, but here's the thing. You have to. The stealth one was easy for me because I perfected the art of jump down, latch on to somebody, and then as soon as he gets through, look for a zip point. Like I'm getting the fuck out of that spot as quick as possible.
Oh nah, y'all doing stuff the
hard way.
Yeah, I was throwing them gadgets.
No, I mean no. What I'm saying is
them gadgets that stick to the walls. That's all I was.
But here's the thing. I had to find my.
Y'all doing stuff the old way.
No, because me doing the gadgets, it worked, but that would get you caught up.
Yeah, it would trigger somebody if you did it like that.
Yeah.
So
bro, I don't know how you guys did it, but this stealth mission right here in the Upper East Side, bro, that jump was like, every time I did it, it was always to the time limit. I was like, damn, I just made it.
Describe the one you're like. What was the area you're looking?
The only one is you was in the night. Is the Upper East Side, like you were on the rooftop buildings, and there's snipers and other dudes all the way to the back.
I know what you're
talking about, bro.
No,
that was hard for me, bro. I was like, yo, bro, I can't get a spectacular.
Look, this is how I figured this one out. I literally, once I did like on my third run, I was like, okay, so it's a dude right here, dude down here, dude above him, and a dude above him. So I'm like, okay, let me zip over here, wrap this motherfucker up, and as soon as I did that, I jumped, zipped, went all the way around to the top, and just started going down the chain, and did that shit.
Yeah, I think when people was messing up, because I was having problems. I'm like, why should it take me so long? I was too stealth. That makes any sense. I was just trying. Like once I figured out like the pattern, I'm like, bro, I could just triangle this guy, zip up here. You don't really have to be like.
Nah, some of the takedowns took too long, bro. That's why I was just like, I need to get this out the way quick.
That's what I'm saying. Like the first takedowns, I don't even like using those. I like just using like the triangle. Like I could when they don't see you, got kind of like the instant takedown, and I was flying through these missions once I got them. Yeah,
a lot of those stealth missions required the use of gadgets.
Oh yeah, they did. But it was like the smart use the gadgets.
It's like my timing with that one. I feel like I take so long because I'm watching them patrol the area. I'm like, yo, if I go here, this one is gonna see me here. And if I do try to stealth kill this dude, they got this sniper that's looking at me.
All your friend during these missions, bro. Like
I do like that they put a little detail in there where you can scan to see when it's safe to take somebody down and when it's not. You know what I'm saying?
I use the noir suit and the sound of silence all the time for those stealth missions, bro.
Yo, that's some of the stealth missions. That's what I use, man. That's
I never used
it. Where you pretty much
I've never used
it.
I never used it, bro.
Yeah, I was like, this is cheap, dog.
I use a sound of silence or the blur projector. It just made it so much easier for me. I just got through it so quick. But the drone challenges, bro, like that was the one.
Those things suck. I hate
it. That just was annoying.
I'll show you right. The drone ones, I perfected like all.
It took me 3 hours to beat a certain mission in Harlem, bro, and I was just like, dude.
Well,
no, you know when you get a little worried because it requires you to get like perfects on some of them, like not perfect, but the 31, and you trying to get that last suit, like, yo, man, I need to get this platinum, dog. What's going on?
Hey, low key, Dre tell you, like, I literally erased Spider-Man because I was getting frustrated. I'm like, man,
you erased?
Oh my god! I said, fuck this platinum, bro. Eric, I was getting so mad. I'm like some of these challenges are stupid, bro.
You out here buying all these suits. You're like, oh damn, I need these challenges.
Bro, you start doing that pacing back and forth, bro. You just like, all right, bro, I'm gonna get through this.
I took a day off, bro. I'm like, man, fuck this game, bro. This shit pissing me off.
That was my issue, bro. I was like, yo, the stealth missions, I should easily get the 3 stars on that. And I was like, yo, hold on, man. I can go to the drone joint for the bombs, and that's the ones I was getting the 3.
And you start getting frustrated, so you stand sheep like, yo, fuck this game. I'm so bro.
Is this on them drone missions? When I kept failing, I'm like, yo, this game garbage, man.
No, man.
You stop messing with your review score, like, yo, this.
But look, the great thing about the Taskmaster mission was the motherfucker was always around, really watching you do the shit.
He made a comment on when you fought. He said you use your right leg a lot. Like, bro.
Yo, the illest shit with that challenge is when you got to the midway point and my man stopped you. I was like, yo, what the hell is going on? I'm like,
man. I didn't expect that at all. Like,
that first fight with him, that was okay. It wasn't that challenging yet.
Second fight.
That second fight.
I got bodied the first fight, bro, and it was the second fight he came in. I was like, okay, now I know how to fight this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You can't just go in on him, bro.
That second one. Wait, that second phase in the second fight. Yo, I died a lot, bro.
Look, I'm gonna tell you one thing I did for that second fight. I got the fuck off that roof. I'm like, nah, bro.
He makes a comment if you actually get off the roof too. He says, they said a lot of things about you. I didn't know you were a coward. I'm like, oh, really?
No, we was literally in the middle of the street. Traffic stopped. We just up there fighting. I'm like, I can't be on that roof. It's too much bullshit on that roof. Hold on. Like, you coming down to the street level with me on this one, bro.
Yeah, fucked up superhero, bro. You putting on
danger,
bro.
What was your favorite suit in the game?
Oh, this is mad. Can we do like top 3 at least?
Yeah,
that's kind of hard. Let's do top 3. I can't pick this one.
Make it hard, bro. Make it hard.
Nah, you know what? Only one.
Yeah,
only one.
Shit. Can we
I got mine.
Can we say honorable mention, my mother?
Nope, only one. Nope. Only one.
Hold up, man.
Oh man, I can't, bro.
I'll start. My favorite suit is the homemade suit.
Oh, you talking about the one for the oh no, okay. Yeah. That look cool. I saw your pictures. I was like, oh, that should look hot too.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Oh, this is tough because I got
this
two.
Is really tough, man. I got
who want to go next?
I'll go next.
I know Barry got his. Go ahead, Barry.
The stealth suit, the big time suit. My favorite suit.
Oh, that's the one with the green spider, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that motherfucker. That's man. I like that.
Either, bro.
Go ahead,
All right, so I go. I think overall my favorite suit is the Stark suit. I love that. I love that suit, man.
Oh, the stealth suit?
No, Stark suit. Stark suit.
Oh, the Stark suit. Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Hold on.
Demi.
I'm gonna say the Final Stand suit because that was one of my favorites. I like that suit a lot, actually.
Which one you said?
The Final Stand.
Okay.
I like that suit too. Final Stand was nice. That was nice. Dre.
For me, the 2099 white suit, bro.
Oh
I spent a lot of time in that suit, bro. That 2099 white suit looks.
Yeah, it was clean. That was clean. I love that one, bro.
Shit was dope, man.
Like that suit right there, like when you look at the suits and the character model, you like, it look alright. But when you actually in the gameplay,
bro, when you in gameplay, that man.
Especially that 2099 joint, the regular one too. I love that suit.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I change my answer?
Nah, bro. Nah.
Damn.
Let me change my answer.
Yeah.
Ghost Spider. That's my favorite.
That one was nice. That one was nice.
Ghost Spider. Which one was that one?
That's the
It was cool.
Trash.
It was cool, but I wasn't like for the setting, bro. I
that
wasn't,
joint was high, bro.
because
wow.
the suit was cool, bro. But I'm just saying, it didn't fit the game to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It looked kind of stupid.
No, you know what didn't fit the game, bro? The electrically insulated suit didn't fit the game, and I hated that suit. I don't know why it was in the game.
Oh, the electro.
They could have kept that one out.
Court, what's your favorite suit?
My favorite suit out of all of them, it's gonna have to be the Antioch suit.
That shit is fine, bro.
I mean, because it was so unexpected, and it was like you look at it and you be like, something don't really click in your head until you just see it, and it's like, that shit looks. I'm down with this.
That shit look nice.
And that was the thing. Like after I've rocked that suit, I haven't changed suits. I just kept that suit on. Cause I'm like, I love. It's just that little small, like, it's simple and complex at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
what do you guys think about like the suit that Doc Ock gave you?
the advanced suit.
What would you like?
Fire, bro.
That suit was fire, bro. That suit was fire, bro.
Yo, remember Sony was like, yo, why you ain't change the suit? I was like, yo, bro.
That was the thing. Like at first, we was all kind of taken aback by the suit. Cause like, but when you get in the game, that suit,
bro, for that first time, bro. Oh my god,
there's a few times where you're doing like a story mission and you probably wearing another suit, and then you come out of it like, nah, damn, I should have been wearing the.
Yeah, I should have been wearing.
Because you go in there and for the moment in that cutscene, you look so dumb, right? Depending on the suit you use.
I wore a dark suit for the first Martin Lee mission where you like take out the helicopter. Yeah. I wore that for that moment. I'm like, I should have been wearing the advanced suit.
Yeah, man. It's like,
advanced suit is dope, bro. I think that's a great.
Look, like all the story parts, I put the advanced suit back on. I'm like, I want to see how they.
But I was gonna say, if y'all really didn't know, Spider-Man had a great save system because it backed up all the pivotal moments for you.
Yeah, bro. The save system was dope in that game. It was really.
So what's y'all least favorite suit?
I was just about to ask that. Is that bullshit ass ESU suit?
I just saw that. I'm like, man,
dog shit.
I ain't walking around looking for folks.
And that ESU suit, it took the most stuff to do to get it too. Like,
yeah, bro. When I saw that, I'm like, that's it. Like, nah, I'm good.
To be honest, I hate the I hate the negative suit. I don't like it.
I love the negative suit. I love the negative.
It was between the negative and the fear itself suit.
I don't fear like itself suit. I hate that suit with a passion.
Which one is that one?
That's the one with the green neon and the claws
and the little scales. Like he looked like Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that one where he was like wearing like a leather jacket or something like that, bro.
Yo, that was the last thing.
That jump was kind of hot though.
That shit, bro.
That would have been my honorable mention, honestly, bro. That shit was fire.
That joint was nice, bro.
I didn't like that shit.
clean,
The
man.
story behind that suit is kind of dark, but that suit is dope.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn about the story. That shit was trash, bro.
Oh, this man Chuck, bro. This man Chuck so brutal, bro. Why are you so brutal? G?
Oh
Chill
yeah,
out.
that Fear itself suit was trash. That's like the worst suit.
The
right?
Fear itself, the electrically insulated suit was so trash, bro. I just don't know why they.
Which one was that one?
I thought that's the one that was all the pads and all that.
That was the
padding
one
and all that.
the black and red suit that was super padded. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that, man. That shit was garbage, bro. Get that out.
In the wrestling suit, I didn't like the wrestling suit either.
Which one you said? You
the
broke up.
wrestler suit, the luchador suit.
Oh, the classic first joint.
I love that suit.
Y'all like the wrestling suit? I did not like that,
I
bro.
wasn't feeling it either, but
Yo, the ability for that suit is kind of hot though. Like,
It is. The abilities for some of the trash suits are fire. Like,
yeah, bro. That's why I'm glad they made it so you can use them with any suit, bro.
the quad
Like,
damage
that's
from the
weird.
Fear itself suit. Oh my god, bro.
yeah,
Like,
that,
I'm
that's
not-
That insulation suit, bro. That's why I love that ability. The suit, you know what I'm saying, might not be the best, but the ability is dope, bro. That's a freaking electric punches, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, them electric punches was fire.
I never used that as skill,
I hate the
bro.
underwear suit only because of how you got it. I'm like, bro, I go through all of this shit, and this is what y'all gave me.
Hey, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it.
the 100 man. The ability I used 90% of the game was that web blossom.
Oh,
web blossom.
You know what's funny? I've never used that shit throughout the whole
I used
game.
it once and I thought it was.
I never used it.
And I lived for that spider,
Look,
bro.
if you ain't using red blossom, you fucking up, bro.
Spider, bro.
I never used that.
Bro.
You will clear a whole fucking room with a damn web
What
blossom.
you doing a hideout? Yo, easy.
I used the guitar blast so much during the game, bro.
I ain't like that. That joint was
I was
And-
No, the one I used the most was the focus one. I probably used that for
Chuck, you using that to help me.
Yeah, I was.
Hey,
Getting the help.
Look,
Hey,
but
man,
this is how
wax.
but this is how you know the
That
web
focus was
blossom.
clutch though.
Yeah,
It was clutch. It was clutch. I
Look.
needed it.
but this is how you know the web blossom is OP. They about to nerf the shit when New Game Plus drop.
Oh man,
It was wiping out people literally. Like you had like 1,000 people, like web blossom.
I used
Everybody
that
came.
for majority, pretty much throughout the whole game, bro. That just
Now I will say secondary ability that I love, motherfucking resupply. Nigga, you want to use gadgets?
Oh yeah, that was a
good
good
30
one, too.
seconds.
That was good too.
You're like,
That's that one man army, bro.
yeah, it was like shoot, shoot, shoot. You're like, you gonna run out of shit? Nope, shoot, shoot, shoot.
You know what's
Yeah.
real good in this game too? That vintage comic book suit, man.
Yeah,
Yo, I didn't know
that
it
was
was
nice.
Bruh, that was like my
really
top
well in the
three.
Yeah, that was really nice.
The quips was real. I was
Hey,
like,
but
bro.
I love the noir suit, bro. That was like
That
my
joint was
favorite
ugly,
suit.
man. I did not like that.
Noir shit was
Man,
crazy.
the noir still looks cool. The
Yeah,
goggles, I'm not
you know
feeling.
what joint
That
is
was like-
ugly?
that was like
Goggles,
my
the
second
goggles, I'm not
favorite
feeling the goggles, but the suit itself looks cool.
You know what joint is low-key ugly too? The other 2099 suit. I think
white one?
is
the white one. No,
The
that's
dark
just
the original one, the black one,
Oh,
I'm
the
not.
original one?
I don't like.
I don't like it, bro.
because it's
Nah,
supposed
yo,
to be
you
black,
got-
but it's not, that shit ain't black, bro. Like,
looking at the model.
It's a
Look at the
purple.
model. It looks
It's like
kind
a purple blue.
kind of but when you actually in the game,
Yeah, y'all crazy. That y'all.
I
The
don't.
2099 white suit is better than the dark suit, bro.
I like the white.
Hell no.
I like
Hell
the
no.
white
Yes,
suit
bro.
better, bro.
No.
The white should look way better, bro.
The white suit looks way
I'm gonna
better,
go with the
bro.
original better.
The original
What
look
else?
way better, bro. Y'all crazy.
No, bro.
Nah,
But I
man.
like how the mask look on the original a little bit better.
I don't know. But in Noir,
So-
Ben Riley's the best suit anyway.
I'm surprised you use noir, bro. I don't think out of all the suits.
I love that. I don't know why. I think because it didn't look like nothing else. That's why. And my man had the pistol on the side.
Pistola.
like my man Spider-Man crazy.
My man got that blicky.
Yeah, you know what I'm surprised? I'm surprised none of y'all said the Mark III suit. I thought somebody was in here was going to say
Hell no.
that Mark III suit.
I didn't like.
I was using a velocity suit for a little bit, but
I couldn't do the metallic looking suits. They were just, I don't know. Shit.
dude look
Like you dipped them in Vaselines and shit.
like speed racer or some shit.
If it was too much lighting, it would look so
The
bad.
Mark III suit, I like it a little bit. The mask is
The master of fire.
I like
Mark.
the first bulletproof suit, the black and yellow one. I do like that suit.
Oh yeah,
I ain't like none of that. Looking like Bumblebee and shit. I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Iron Spider suit in this game.
I like the Iron Spider.
I like
I like that Homecoming suit more though. The
Homecoming suit fit this game, but
the Stark suit.
That's what I'm saying. Stark suit was fire, bro. I used that a lot.
But yeah, man. In terms of like, you know, kind of just to wrap up.
I'm surprised that nobody said Scarlet Spider because that's.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
I was going to say Scarlet Spider, but I don't know.
I was going crazy for that suit.
That's like my favorite suit, but the big time does look better.
Yeah, the homemade just resonated with me a little bit more. I took a lot of comic book pics with that, so that I'm gonna post up. But yeah, Scarlet Spider is amazing. I was in Scarlet Spider a good majority of the game.
Yeah, I was in Scarlet Spider.
Scarlet Spider and homemade was the ones that I was really using.
Scarlet Spider, Stark suit, and the dark suit was like the top 3 I used for this game a lot.
Yeah,
it was.
But in terms of you know, scores and you know. How would you did we talk about combat? Yeah, we talked about combat.
We talked about combat, but we didn't before we get to the scores, we need to go and talk about these end credits though.
Oh yeah. Okay,
big beefy.
Let's talk about these end credit scenes.
Talk about these beefy end credits.
You know what
first scene, pretty much, you know, Miles coming to Peter and saying, "Hey, look, I got an issue."
Hey, that scene was hilarious.
I liked it. Yeah. And
like your body's going through change. I mean,
that's the age. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, "Whoa,
hold on,
chill out, brother."
sticking the walls. You feel me? And then like Peter's like, "Oh, I got that same problem." He jumps up, and they both. I'm like, "Oh yeah, the second game gonna be fire for this." How did y'all feel about that?
I think that was a dope setup, man. I love that. Because you know what, you kind of have an idea where we going in the next game, bro. And to see these 2 Spider-Man with 2 complete separate abilities, because you know Miles gonna have different abilities, you know what I'm saying, with the camouflage and the electricity and all that. So I'm ready to see how they're gonna do the combat with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the second scene was
that was the biggest one.
The most important scene because we've seen a lot. We saw that Harry really is there
the whole time.
The whole time. And
the lie the whole time.
He's covered in the symbiote, which, woo! When I saw that,
I'm wondering
I had to decompress because this whole time I was wondering where the hell is Mike Venom? Where's my Carnage? Like, can we get some symbiotes in there, please?
Look, so for everybody,
symbiote.
Look, so symbiote. For everybody talking about where's the black suit? Where's the black suit?
You know why?
I low key was saying the same thing. I was like, wow, they really don't have like the symbiote suit. I mean, that's kind of iconic, but of course, when you get to the end, you kind of know they they already said they kind of wanted to give that suit like its own name. Yeah, because it's so iconic, bro. Like it's crazy. Like everybody knows about that suit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely enjoyed that because I was hitting people up and I'm like, I didn't want to spoil it. I was like, is that what I thought it was? You know, because it kind of happens like fast though. It's kind of like you know, it's like you see him like floating there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then at the end, when you see like the Simian test the inside of the capsule or whatever, bro, I was like, holy shit! They really go in there. You know, I like. Let's get to change the origin story. I like that, bro. I like
Harry have the symbiote is a little bit different from me.
That's what I'm saying. It is different.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, I want to see like how they're going to implement it for him, and if we are going to see Eddie Brock in the second game.
Well, I don't think there's no need for Eddie Brock, bro. I mean, it's going a different route. You know?
I think we'll still see Eddie Brock because I got a feeling Eddie Brock gonna show back up at the Bugle.
Yeah, I feel like he's in San Francisco and going to come up here to New York for an opportunity.
And it's cool. Like you see it with Harry, but like the symbiote, like Spider-Man and
Venom.
like Venom, like you gotta lead it to Eddie, bro. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, that's why you have to. Yeah, you have to. Eddie has to be here somewhere.
Yeah, I know you want to, create your own story and all that, but like I say, you got the source material there.
The bigger rivalry is Eddie and Peter, because Eddie, I'm saying Eddie. The symbiote just feeds off the hate that Eddie has for Spider-Man, and I love that.
What I think is going to happen in terms of like speculation is that Spider-Man's going to have to fight. The symbiote is probably going to cure Harry or something like that, and then try to use him as a host. And it's not going to work, and then that's when I think the symbiote is going to latch on to Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is going to become like a villainous type of character,
and then
where Miles is going to have to then. When the suit, when he gets rid of the black suit, that's when I think it'll get latched on to Eddie, and that'll be where Miles and Spider-Man have to stop Eddie.
Oh, look at my man! You work for Insomniac, right? I don't need to buy the second game now, bro.
I like that story.
I like that story. That story sounds fire, bro.
Yeah, that's how we better.
I know this is a SpoilerCast, bro, but you gotta spoil a new game, my nigga. Goddamn.
I feel like that's the route they're gonna take, because
that makes sense.
Bart is right though. You have to. You can't have the blacks. You can't have a symbiote and not have Eddie. They both go hand in hand.
Man.
I feel like there has to be some introduction of him somewhere.
Eddie's gonna get up here. He's gonna work for the Daily Bugle. He's gonna try to hit on Mary Jane.
He Mary Jane, come to the crib. You feel me?
And that's what's gonna cue the rivalry and between them. And something's gonna kick off between Peter and Eddie, to where Eddie's gonna hate him. And
like I said, we'll see, man. Can I say one thing before we go? The research centers for Harry were actually really fun. I actually have fun doing those.
Yeah, I like those.
Those are actually like real. It's like a great break away from like combat and shit that's doing things. I like those, man. It's pretty cool. That lightning one,
actually a lot of good
lightning one,
that lightning one was crazy,
bro. That shit had me triggered, bro.
That lightning one was fire. That lightning one was
good. So we back to Final Fantasy 10, man. I'm like, yo, listen.
No, you know which one actually had me more triggered? The one where you're doing the cell phone, and like the screens are going up and down. Between. Yeah,
I was gonna say, they gave a lot of references back to the original Spider-Man on PS1 with some of these damn missions, though. Like, hey, you can't swing down to the, city.
Yeah, bro, that shit crazy. That's like what Spider-Man 1, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cell phone one.
It was like a gas that was on the level floor.
Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that.
That's the Scorpion mission and the cell phone mission played off that. They were like, look, bro, you can't go low. You gonna have to
that damage, bro. Yeah, but that lightning one, bro, I was over here raging, dude. I'm like,
bro, that shit almost.
You know what pissed me off about the lightning one is the fact that I wanted to get a good photo of it, and I kept messing the timing of the lightning.
I got a good photo. I can't.
This was the fucked up part about the lightning. You would get to one of those damn towers to swing it around, and that fucking lightning would start cracking.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, how am I supposed to do this?
I barely beat that shit one time. Like, that shit hit me a couple times, bro. Like, I was on the last one, bro. He was about to hit me, and I finally reached it, bro. I'm like, let's go, bro. Man, that shit was.
Oh hell no, bro.
Look, I will say this though. At least if you died, they did not start your ass all the way.
Yeah, bro. Man,
that's why I said that the safe checkpoints in this game are so dope, bro. That's cool, man.
Because I was like, nigga, if I got to start this whole going around the whole city setting these motherfuckers, god damn.
Yeah, I was getting triggered, man. Until I realized that, I'm like, oh, okay. Whew. That's a sigh of relief, yo.
I was literally at the second to the last one.
Me, bruh.
And that damn lightning strike, I was like, fuck. Then I was like, oh, wait, you started red. I was like, thank you.
Because I didn't die until I got close to the end. So I'm like, I got to do this shit over again, man? Yeah,
because I was like, man, I ain't doing this shit again.
But yeah, I say Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man.
I want to mention one of the dopest movie references, that train scene, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he worked the last
scene
time.
was so
I was like,
great.
yo, he said that she worked the last time. I'm like, oh shit.
That was great. That was so great.
That was so
great.
good, bro.
That was so great. That was
Y'all
so
forgot
so
about
great.
that. That was fire.
That was
But
fire, bro. Like,
I
damn.
think we all need to say rip to the realest one. We gonna miss you, girl.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Big
talk about
feelings,
that.
big feelings.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that. Yo, listen.
That hurt.
Listen, that scene.
That scene had me on some Life is Strange shit.
Yo, that was powerful right there,
It
man.
was powerful,
It was.
man.
Listen,
Nigga, I had to go in the corner and cry for a
The
little
fact
bit.
that
I
she
was hurt.
admitted she always knew, bro.
Yeah, she's like, let me see my nephew one more time. I'm
Man,
like, damn. Come on, man. Not
it's like, oh man, no.
That was so sad.
That
man.
shit.
When he grabbed the vial, I'm like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. And he,
Don't make
he was
me
just
make
struggling,
this
bro.
choice.
Because you know, like, if he would have done that, Aunt May would have hated him, bro. I think she would have, like, really resented him.
Hey, Uncle
Like,
Ben, they would have all hated him.
she would have hated him, bro. It's like, yo,
Bro, let's be honest.
you know
During
better.
the fight with Doc Ock in that moment with Aunt May, did y'all think y'all was gonna have to make a choice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
I did.
I really thought about it. I was like, bro, if they get this choice, I'm like, look, man.
Oh man, we
I
gonna
was
live
waiting
another
on it,
couple
bro.
years.
I'm glad they didn't give a choice.
Yeah, that would have been some.
I think that would have ruined it a little bit. They ruined the movie.
It would have, but it'd have been like one of those situations, like, bro.
If they would have gave you the freedom, that's pretty much negating who Peter Parker is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, but I'm
You
glad
really
they
become
didn't
a
give.
villain.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
That's
glad
like-
they didn't give me that choice though, because
Solomon, bro, I
because-
say
because
Nah,
then-
but it,
because then what would
because,
But then what would have happened in the next game, bro? For those who pick, you know what I'm saying, to save on me or whatever, you know what I'm saying, versus everybody else. Like, what would have happened? They would have continued off of that or just went on
nigga,
like
nigga,
nothing
would've
ever
been the
happened. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I think with that scene, it really, the scene definitely showed, like, again, the struggles that Peter,
Yeah.
all that
He
being
can't,
responsible and being a villain.
Can't win, man.
No matter what, bro. That's crazy. Like, no matter what you do, something
But
always happens.
I think the reason why they did this, and it's again, this is smart, because this is gonna give Peter more of a reason to really step down and pass that torch to Miles. Like, damn, I lost Ben, I lost this. I really think Mary Jane gonna die in the next movie, and that's gonna
either Mary Jane gonna die,
I think he's gonna die,
or he gonna get. I think Mary Jane gonna get hurt to the point he was like, you know what?
I gotta step away. Yeah, Miles, go ahead. What are you, 16 now? Go ahead, man.
Damn.
You got it, man.
I did it. You gotta do it too, bro.
I was doing it. How old? Yeah, I was in high school.
Everything I know,
Go
bro.
ahead,
Now
man.
go out there and do something. You know
Go
what I'm
ahead
saying?
and handle that, man. You feel me? I'm about to go to this Cape Cod or wherever the hell, and
All I know, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him when he get out of jail.
oh yeah.
What I want, bro, like, I hope they show like Martin Lee and like how if he is affected by knowing what he was involved with the death of Aunt May, because at the end of the day he did really respect Aunt May too, you know what I'm saying? And for him to know that, yo, what he did like caused her death, bro.
Yeah, that's bro. You gotta live with that forever.
Yeah, he's gonna live with that. He's like, they need to follow up on that.
Don't hurt nobody.
I wish they would have showed that in the end credits, bro.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, just to kind of show like how they all are managing after the whole everything. But yo, honestly, the scene with Doc Ock when he was laying on the thing, I thought one of them arms was gonna kill Peter. Then I'm gonna keep it a buck. I thought Peter was gonna die right there, man. Because
I know that shit was done. He pulled that shit out of his neck. He was like, bro,
I thought he had some kind of control somewhere, bro. I'm like, all right, bro, he's gonna critically hit Peter some way. That's what I was expecting.
I hope they lead up to Peter Parker's death and get that Superior Spider-Man getting out. Yo, listen, I'm losing it, bro. I'm losing this.
Let's get to these scores, man. In terms of Spider-Man, starting with you, Chuck. In terms of Spider-Man, what score would you give it? And on your list of games this year, where does it fall? Like number 1, number 2, number 5, 10 out of 10. Out of 10.
I'll say the score I give it is like a 9.5, and the only reason I give it a 9.5 is because it's like some of the boss fights and the early boss fights, they wasn't that engaging for me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really like the Mary Jane stuff that much, except for like a couple of times. But to me, it's easily my game of the year. Like I said, I'm not a collectible. Any game that can make me get a collectible, like that can make me play a game, it's pulling me from my norm. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it with God of War. Like I just didn't really care. Like I beat the game, whatever, But Spider-Man, to me, I enjoyed every aspect of this game, from the combat.
Go get that God of War plaque.
Yeah,
nah, but God of War is in the cloud, bro. Like it's never coming back. So, like I said, every aspect from the story, the combat, like the stealth, like everything was so good. I think the stealth in Spider-Man is very underrated. Not only in the challenges or whatever, just in general. Like you could take out so many guys before you even like go hand-to-hand combat. Is really good. So yeah, it's definitely a 9.5 for me. I love this game, man, and I can't wait for the DLC. I think it's gonna be fun.
Nice. Dre.
I think the score. I think I'm with that score also. This is still for me barely a little bit behind God of War still as my game of the year so far. You know what I'm saying? I still do enjoy God of War more. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I do enjoy this game, man. This is one of the most distracting games, bro, in terms of side missions. Like I've never been in a game like you try to go to a mission and you just something pop up and you just like, yeah, let me go check that out. I'll be back. But overall everything with the characters, you know what I'm saying? Some of the boss fights, I kind of feel like they just ended with nothing, you know what I'm saying, gained after it. It's just like, so I'm like, all right, cool. But overall I do think they got New York down, bruh. They got the characters, and I enjoyed it, man. 9.5 for me as well.
Okay.
Can't wait for part 2 and that shit.
Okay. Court.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a fanboy out here.
Wow, too late.
Once you start
with that statement, man,
it ain't no, like, seriously though, it ain't no fanboy shit. Like people might think it is just because I like Sony and all that, but look, fam.
Speak from your heart.
It's gonna be 100 out of 10. Fuck that 10 out of 10. It's 100 out of 10. Anything less is an abomination. I'm just joking though, but no, for real though, it really is like a 10 out of 10 for me though.
Okay.
I loved every single bit of this game. From the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Like you can ask my wife, she didn't see me for 2 days. I was in my room just zoned out on Spider-Man. I pulled fucking 14-hour shifts on Spider-Man. Just
woo!
Like that shit drew me in. And she didn't even complain because she knew it was Spider-Man. But it was just the fact that I haven't done that type of gaming in a long time.
Yeah.
To where a game can just draw you in to where you don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, I'm gonna play for like, another 30 minutes and some shit happens like, hey, wait a minute, I gotta see what happened after this because this shit getting real.
Okay.
So that's just me. It's a 10 out of 10. I know some people like, oh, it's not a 10. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And everybody saying it's like Batman. Y'all don't know shit.
Nah,
it's nowhere near like Batman. Dre, Demi.
I'm gonna have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. And the only reason I say that is because when I was playing it, I had certain missions I couldn't finish because either the prompt would disappear or I couldn't do anything for said mission. I had to redo it constantly. And some of the suits look really bad in nighttime and the lighting. That's the only reason. Like, that's the only 2 gripes I had with the game.
Okay.
That's why you stick with the good suits, nigga. Get off the bad suits.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
God damn.
You gotta chill, man. You gotta chill, man. Oh man.
Hey, yo, Debbie, I done felt offended by that, man.
Picking all
Let me
these,
chill.
Hey, man.
Let me
Hey,
picking
chill.
all these trash suits.
I'm
Hey,
at that,
man.
man.
Hey, man, it was the more glossy suits, man.
Man, nobody, look, you had an option not to wear them glossy suits. You docking points on
But
the
if I had to put it in the top 3, it's over God of War for me easily.
Yeah.
Oh, word? Oh, wow.
I want to say that too.
What's up? Barry.
This game is a 10 out of 10. No bias. All facts.
All facts. Speak the facts.
Right.
Listen, man. Listen. I know when we say that we gotta, God of War is obviously a great game. Don't get it twisted, but God of War, some of the side stuff was a little bit, tedious, but it was still good. But this game right here, I had no issue doing a side. Like I honestly can say I had no issues doing any side mission. I kept wanting to do what I had to do to swing. You know what I mean? And once you just learn that web swinging, the flowing through the city, when you just flowing through the city, yo, it looks mad dope. Like regardless on how skilled you are or anything, you're gonna be mad dope in this game. You're gonna look mad. We're gonna be like, yo, cool. You know what I mean? And then engage and putting that on top of like a great story, like. I feel like a lot of people, when they talk about Spider-Man, they definitely talk about the combat and the traversal and but the side mission. But yo, people miss out on that story. This story was amazing, bro. Like it hit every aspect for me. You know what I mean? Fanboy aspects, you know what I mean? Comic book aspect, movie aspect, whatever you want to hit it. It hit every aspect for me, man.
It was a well-written story.
It was a well-written story, man, and you gotta give props to them, man. The combat was really good for me. The game looked great. I did like most of the suits in there, except for some of them, but I wish they had other suits in there as well. But other than that, man, like I'm really excited for the DLC. You know, when DLC come around, you be like, I play this junk a little bit later. But when that DLC hit that day,
Oh yeah, that's when Spider-Man getting reinstalled again, bro.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Talking about,
reinstalled. Spider-Man by delete. Whoa.
Look, bro,
Hey man, it's how the game's coming out, bro. What you mean?
You got space in the hard drive, bro? Like, what's going on?
You got a terabyte, bro.
You better delete something else.
Yo, you better
integrate.
It's other games coming out.
I know you gonna say
it's other games coming out.
In the great words of Black Youngster.
It's other games coming out. It's other games coming out.
I was gonna say,
you still got a 500, bro? 500 gig there?
You got a TV.
It's other games coming out. It's other games coming out.
How do you not have an external hard drive?
It's other games coming out.
You can
It's
stop
other games coming out.
And buy
Other games coming out.
Look,
This dude,
It's other games coming out.
damn it. You said one more time, we gonna find you $100.
Yeah,
It's other games coming out.
Yo, this dude, that means stupid.
But nah, man, yeah. I mean, honestly, it is a 10 out of 10 for me, man, because it hit every aspect that I love about Spider-Man. And they just did a great job, man. I can't I have a little. I'm not saying the game is perfect, obviously, but as far as being
have y'all encountered any bugs in or glitches in the game?
I personally have not. No,
I didn't. The only thing it crashed on me one time. The game crashed
on me 3 times, bro.
It never crashed on me. I guess I got that magical system.
Look,
it never crashed on me, bro.
I had one audio issue when Peter and Miles, Spider-Man and Miles met up. You know, he was teaching them how to punch and stuff. I only had one audio issue because Miles' dialogue wouldn't trigger. So,
damn!
Like it was just
everybody out of area.
It crashed on me one time. I think it was going in the menus, and then when I loaded it back up, it crashed again. I was like, God damn, bro.
So, even with that one little issue, I can't dock it a point just because it happened that one time. Like it wasn't like
you got people calling it a 2 out of 10.
Yo,
it was a couple missions.
I experienced none of that.
It was a couple side missions where the prompt wouldn't trigger at all. And I couldn't finish it. I had to reload to redo it, but nothing too critical.
Now, if it had been constantly happening, then yeah, it'd have got some points knocked off. But if it happened once and it ain't happening again, I'm fine with it.
It happened to me 3 times, so I should give it a 9 out of 10, bro.
How you get crashed 3 times though, bro? Damn.
I don't know.
They crashed me once, and that was pretty much it. But
That was your
10
PlayStation telling you to play Street Fighter, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
10 out of 10 for me, man.
I did. I did.
For me, it's a 10 out of 10. You can feel how you feel. I don't care. It's a 10 out of 10.
Listen to these
Ain't
things.
no damn 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
It's not a 10 out of 10.
For me, it's the greatest game to come out
Ever
this
made?
generation. For me, this is the
Whoa,
top three.
generational game.
If we're putting
The
top
generation?
three, yes. This
Yeah, I
generation. If we're putting like top three, Spider-Man's 1, God of War's 2, and 3 will probably be Horizon. Yeah, Horizon.
Oh man, Fat Boy.
You know why? Yo, Persona, what was the issue?
Imperials
everybody
is clicking.
was having? I hope the story is good. You got a great story, and now people still complain. Come on,
Complaining
guys.
about birds. I gotta chase birds.
Generational.
Look at those puddles, man.
I mean,
Generational.
Generation.
Wait.
For me personally, this is my game.
I can say it's in a generation.
Yeah, I can see that.
For me, this is my game. This is one of my games of the generation. This is a generation.
Oh yeah. It's definitely.
This is a generation defining game for me. And for me, this game is amazing. It's a 10 out of 10. The story is great. If you're into comic books, especially Spider-Man comics, and you play a game like this, you're really going to be greatly appreciative because it does hit the nail on the head with a lot of the comic books, a lot of the Easter eggs in the game for like other, comic book heroes like Black Panther, Strange, and Avengers, and all those different things. It pleased all of that for me. So I, as someone that does love superheroes, especially Marvel superheroes, I'm happy. Combat great, story great. Everything about this game really is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I have no issues. Generation wise is number one on my list. It's a generation defining game of the generation for me. The only game that could possibly knock this game off that list of being number one is Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima.
Last of Us 2, man.
And we'll see. But yeah, 10 out of 10, generation defining game. Shout out to Insomniac again, man. You guys did a great job.
Talk about like outside of Spider-Man, like there's like 3 games right now that has a crazy setup for the next game. This is one of them. God of War and freaking Horizon, bro. Like the way those 3 games ended.
Yeah.
Next generation, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Next gen gonna be crazy.
Man.
Yeah, them people's gonna be fire, bro.
It was gonna be crazy, especially outside of Spider-Man, because Venom and all that stuff. But God of War and
I'm about to say, I think God of War. The next game is gonna be the most anticipated out of the
Hell yeah.
I think God of War next game.
It's not close.
Honestly, for me, I think Horizon is going to be most anticipated for me, just because how that ended and how that world is, and how I want to see them build upon that with the PS5 and whatever the power is going to be of that and all that.
Man.
I'm
my
really
man
excited to see what that look. Silent.
Yeah, we trying to see what Silas trying to do.
Listen, my man Silent's out here, man.
I want to see Thor fuck Kratos up, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Thor about to beat the shit out of
He flapped the jacket back. You seen the ham on him.
Oh man, he about to
beat
you see, when Thor flapped the jacket back and Kratos seen the ham, he was like, security.
I gotta go. Look, if anybody get mad on that first fight with Thor, they were like, Thor, Kratos can't be beat by Thor. Like, look, bro.
Listen.
That boy Kratos.
I'm rooting for Thor that first fight.
That boy Kratos was looking like Nicki Minaj when he fighting Cardi B, sitting in the corner on the security in front of security.
Yeah, bro. Like, you gonna have to hold that, fam.
Hold that down.
You gonna have to hold that.
Guys, we about to get into these outros, man. Starting with we gotta start with the Plus on Block boys. Chuck.
What's up, man? It's your boy Upchuck Gaming, man. Great show. This is actually fun. We almost didn't do it this before. You know what I'm saying? But
how you gonna expose that?
Hey, bro. I only speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Told y'all clean my crib, bro.
Yeah, right. Whatever you say, bro. But yeah, this is definitely a great cast, man. It was great talking about this great game. Hit me up on Twitter, Upchuck Gaming, YouTube, Upchuck Gaming, man. Everything is good, man. It was great talking with you guys, man. Fun times.
Yeah.
Facts. Yo, Dre.
Yeah, man. Agreed. Good podcast. Plus some Block podcast once again every Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern. You know what I'm saying? Come on. If y'all into fighting games, man, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about, bro, this week. So.
Yeah, bro. This week is kind of beef.
Yeah,
Yo, how Dre promoting and Chuck?
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say that.
Wow.
Here, bro. We got team.
Chuck don't care about the vision.
Chuck said he went for the paychecks, bro.
Hey, yo, Chuck be like,
Chuck Gaming, man.
never promote, bro.
Right.
No.
Yeah, man.
Hey, bro, we attack team, bro. That's why we look out for each other. That's my boy Dre. Good shit, Dre. Good shit, bro.
You already know, man. I got you, fam. Yeah. Alex619 on Twitter also, man. And yeah,
man, it's a lot of fight games next week, man. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely support Plus on Block podcast, man. Definitely also support Dre's channel as well, Dreology 619. I'm about to put the link in the description. Hold up, got a link out there. I'm gonna put the link in the description, but I'm throwing it in the chat now. Y'all support my boy Dre, man.
Times every month.
Right? Hey, listen, support them Plus on Block boys, man. The boys out there doing good work, man. Definitely love the podcast, man. Tuesdays, 8:30 Eastern. The link to the podcast is in the description on Upchuck Gamers channel. Link to that is definitely in the description. Then we got my boy Cart, Mr. Stealth.
Yep. You already know it is the boy, the Stealth guy himself. You ain't been on my channel on Facebook, going on now. Stealth Guy Gaming, y'all know. I said, fuck all that YouTube shit. I'm done.
Goddamn.
Oh, damn.
Nah, YouTube just be on that nonsense. It's like, hell. At least on Facebook, if some shit pop up, I can actually fight it.
Yeah, definitely support Stealth Guy Gaming. He streams on Facebook.
Yo, that got real dark, guys.
I had to lighten that up a little bit.
Look. Okay, hold on.
That was real beefy.
It was beefy. It was.
It sounded like you was about to take that bus ride to the headquarters, bro.
But no, it's been a fun podcast. I had to get a little bit dark, to fit that dark tone Spider-Man.
All right, bro.
Look, this is the DC universe. Gotta be tense. Deadpool
For no reason at all.
Words is actually
no reason at all, for real though. This
like, why so tense? This is DC universe.
Martha.
But no, I had some fun.
What did you say that name?
Look, I'm about to say
the name Martha too.
I'm about to say we running on some old podcasts. Look, we out here running on the old podcast time here, bro.
We know for sure the DC guy here, bro. You don't like to hear that, bro.
like,
Hey, someone like DC fashion too.
Chilling, man. DC, DC been falling off a little bit. I'll admit that.
A little bit, bro. Hey, how many trying to go restart the universe, bro?
Understatement of the year, bro.
I mean, this come out, I think November. We're gonna see.
My mom's been marketed too.
Do anybody know when the DC universe was supposed to start?
I guess they're gonna start that shit after Flash reset everything.
Originally, like that Green Lantern was supposed to start it, bro.
It was.
That lantern might have ended everything, man. That Green Lantern movie, dog.
I'm subscribing to that DC universe joint.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the DC stuff because
I just want to see how the Titan stuff turn out. Cause it might.
Real talk.
Oh my god.
That's a pass.
Before we move on to Barry, actually Barry will probably announce it anyway. But since we talking about Spider-Man and stuff, I definitely do think. I think a Titans podcast is gonna be coming for Barry with the comic book stuff. We talk about.
Yeah. Yo, that's one of the main things I'm subscribed. Yo, that DC Universe joint, as far as the movies, it's not like great and stuff, but that joint is still a good package in my opinion. Because he's gonna get all the animated.
Watch the Teen Titans because I need to criticize properly.
When DCEU don't work, but hey, just create another one, man.
Yeah, and plus you get the comics too, like the Marvel joint. So that's kind of hot.
More
yeah, man.
Barry, go ahead, give us your outro, bro.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Jay Bari. It was definitely fun talking to you guys about Spider-Man, the greatest game of all time. No lie, yo.
Oh my god.
Seeing Chuck's excitement for this game definitely tickled my fantasies, no homework. But
You excited about the man?
That's a little sassy. That's a little zesty.
You'll never go.
That's a little zesty.
Chuck is that dude that be complaining like, "Why I gotta change
Chuck complains about everything.
Chuck,
you gotta understand, like Chuck doesn't like shit, bro. This nigga hates
that's what I'm saying. Like that's how you know Spider-Man a good game because Chuck got the platinum.
This is for his kids, and this nigga was complaining, yo, fuck this beach, bro. It's just fucking sun is hot out here. Like my nigga, you at the beach, bro. Nigga don't like shit. So when he comes out with something that he like, I'm like, yo, it's like
it's
magical. It's like a Disney movie when Chuck finds something he loves, like he's singing songs.
And twice in a row too, we got a war, and then Spider-Man, hey, bro.
Hey, I love God of War, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Man, you guys don't know Chuck like how we know Chuck. And,
Chuck don't like nothing.
Yo,
man, if it ain't if it ain't got frame data or stats, it ain't trying to play, bro.
If it ain't an insect, my nigga, bro, hey.
You know what? Really, my nigga, that's what we doing.
Fighters and sports games. You feel me?
Never mind, bro. I ain't gonna do that to you. You want
if it don't go hut.
I'm out of here, man. I don't appreciate this.
Go ahead, Barry. Finish up.
But nah, man. Yeah, we're gonna do a comic book podcast called From Comics to Movies. It's gonna be focused more on comic books and us, blending the movie aspect as well, the adaptation. But each podcast, at the end of the podcast, we're gonna give you like a preview of what we're gonna talk about next. So if you guys want to read up on that stuff while we're going through it, you can do that. But no, it's just cool, man, because there's a lot of good origin stories here in comic books, and sometimes a lot of people just don't know it, man. I've seen people say that, Carnage is Venom's daddy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I need to know who said that so I can block it.
I don't read the comics. I don't know that's bullshit, but
wait a minute. I don't want to say his name, but I might have to because man gonna have to get exposed out here saying it.
Let me know so I can block him.
What did Garuda say it?
It was my man Garuda. Shout out to
my Garuda.
Garuda, but nah, he said the thing is he said he was basing it off the movies, like the new Venom movie. So that kind of really sparked the idea as far as like the first podcast. Since it's going to be around the Venom movie.
Wait. So in the Venom movie, Carnage is Venom's dad?
But
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Oh my God! Please don't do this.
I don't even know, bro. But that's what the man said.
I'm gonna say now. What? Okay, it's supposed to be Venom and Ride in the movie, and probably Lasher. But if you say Carnage is the daddy, that don't make sense.
Oh, that don't make sense, baby.
Oh dear God!
Like you have to have Cletus Cassidy before Eddie Brock.
I've seen and heard of many things, man, and but this podcast is gonna be focusing on Venom and his origin story, and we're gonna dabble in Carnage origin story too.
Yo,
but we also gonna talk about the movie as well. So
Sony gonna have to do like DC and focus on them animated movies, bro.
Sony should have canceled this.
That Spider-Verse looking fire, but
I'm definitely. That's day one, bro.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Verse looks fire.
Oh, the Miles joint, that's gonna be fire. So yeah, like around that time when that movie come out, we'll probably talk about like Spider-Man and Miles shit too as well. So
yeah.
That's basically what it is.
My man Bart trying to be the next Comic Explains up in here. That's what's up. I feel you.
Yeah, that's going in a little bit in this community.
Party chats. Listen, we should have done this long time ago.
Yeah, it's not an original idea because this was brought up many times to do it, but I think more in the movie side was brought up. I don't know, but the comics, we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk.
We gotta get these non-comic.
See that Marvel Unlimited, the DC Unlimited. Start reading up comics, man. It's gonna be good. So you can walk into these Marvel movies and walk out disappointed.
Also, there's going to be a giveaway in the first episode, giving away a month free of Marvel Unlimited, so you guys can subscribe to that service that Marvel has with the comic books.
Get your knowledge up.
It might be 2 codes. I got to check because that can't. Marvel Unlimited came with the Spider-Man collectors.
Yeah, Spider-Man joint. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, two codes. You got 2 codes.
So yeah, 2 codes. It's gonna be lit, man.
We might have a Spider-Man DLC because they also gave me a DLC for the collectors, and I bought the digital deluxe, double dip, and might see a DLC code floating around there too. So
Double
make sure
dip,
y'all
double
there.
dip.
I just
Make sure y'all there, man.
I'm trying to hear what y'all gotta say.
Thanks, man. Barry's link to his channel is in the description as well. J Barry Show, he also does that every week. Make sure you check that out, man. Support my peoples. Last but not least, my boys in the building.
Hey,
my boys in the building. The hat has been restored.
Hat is on right now, currently.
Facts. Hey, my boy Demi, go ahead, give a shout out.
Howdy, everybody. Demi got reviews here.
Oh my god.
Let me end this cast.
You hit us with howdy.
Howdy, everybody. Demi got reviews here.
Red Dead don't come out for a month. Relax.
I'm already in Red Dead mode. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh man.
I'm already in Red Dead mode, to be honest. But what's going on, everybody? Demi got reviews here. Glad to be part of this podcast. I had fun. You're hearing sounds from the Blue Yeti right now. Sounds great. What's going on today? I'm dropping a review of the video kit today for Xbox One. That should be up right after this, actually. And then,
that's why you ain't got a 2 terabyte in your damn
Damn, that's savage.
There's other games coming out.
My bad. I went my intermission.
Yeah, bro. Relax, bro. Y'all trying to get at me, bro.
Goku said, "Howdy." I already love this guy.
Come check out the content. Marvel Spider-Man review is already up. Boost the numbers up, pump it up. I've been dropping a lot of content recently. Help me out to help y'all out, to help yourselves out, to help me out.
Okay, you a real hard worker on YouTube. Like I always see Demi stuff up on YouTube.
Yeah, man. You sound like a pyramid scheme right there, Demi.
Oh no! Oh no!
You ain't need pyramid scheme.
He said a pyramid scheme, though.
Hold on, bro. Send me 2,000, I see you 200,000.
I'd be like, please get one of them emails. I'm stuck in another country.
Invest
in me $1 million.
Invest in this timeshare. You guys will have a nice little hotel for you guys.
Hey, invest in this timeshare that 12 other people gonna be sleeping in.
You can get all
want me to invest in a villa I can only come to 3 weekends out the year?
Bro. Shit is crazy.
Motherfuckers can only come here up to 12 days out of 365.
But come check out the channel, check out the content, follow me on my social media. Demi got reviews on everything. I'm just here, man. Help me out, to help you out, to help myself out, to help everybody else out. That's it.
Hey, definitely subscribe to my boy Demi, man. Link to his channel is in the description as well. Hard worker, man. Also part of the Mog podcast every Saturday morning, 11 a.m.
Best podcast on YouTube.
Right? Facts.
Best podcast on YouTube.
Respectful, bro.
That is true.
After that, plus on block, destroy the council podcast. I'm gonna need y'all to fall back. All right.
Whoa!
Plus on blocking the channel. Plus on blocking the channel.
Plus on block is definitely best podcast on you. Mog, plus on block.
There we go. You all understand.
The council podcast is no more, doesn't it?
Yeah, the council
Mog
podcast.
is still the best on YouTube.
Good. Yeah, so I gotta have 3 hours of my life.
Mog's still
Hey, bro, this can go on forever, bro. Hey.
I'm saying Mog's still yo, man, listen, council podcast, we go like 3.5 hours.
Hey, listen,
I used to take a nap and come back and them niggas still on the intro, bro. I was like,
Barry's telling the truth. Council podcast make doing long podcasts.
yeah, them
good.
intros used to be ridiculous, bro. How you get
that's like the damn outro.
Hey, that's right.
Yo, intros and outros used to be like 30 minutes. No bullshit.
I'm
30
like,
minutes of intros and outros.
Hey,
I'm like, I'll be back in a little bit.
Oh, y'all like intros? All right, let me go.
Yo, we not like Chuck. Chuck got a timer each time.
yo, Chuck, hey, listen, bro.
Real talk. Yo, real talk. Yeah, Chuck, dude. People trying to get out of there.
I keep it real though, bro. I'm like,
Chuck
look,
looking at the stopwatch on his phone, bro.
He's like, yo, Dre, what's his notes from Abigail? Well, you know, Abigail. Yo, we gotta move to the next one.
Yo, real talk. Yo, this how crazy it is. Chuck don't even let Dre do intros. He's like, all right, we about to get up out of here. We gonna holler at y'all. Should I say something?
Yo, when like there be times like, yo, are we in the pocket? After pocket, and we thinking Chuck is still around. We here talking, bro. You look at the shit. You the only one in there. I'm like, the fuck.
Real talk, yo.
I'm like, this nigga, bro.
Chuck really don't be wasting no time, bro.
Yo, he really don't get in there. He don't be like, yo, thanks for coming on or nothing. He be like, yo, later. And then you talking and you see that these niggas gone. I'm like,
chill, fam. Why y'all?
That shit crazy.
You got 50 seconds to talk if you're talking about a topic, bro.
Yeah, 50 seconds. That's it. 50 seconds to a minute. But yo, man, this was the panel, guys. Definitely subscribe to all of these people, man. Chuck, Demi, Dre, Bari, man. They all make really good content, man. Really, really, really cool, dope people, man. Those people for a long time. Spider-Man, an amazing game, as you can see. Like, we all loved it and enjoyed it. It's easily one of the best games that come out this year, definitely. Let us know in the comments how you guys feel, man. Also, if you want to follow any of us, you can follow me at persona_Mog. No more YT Mog. Mog is, we becoming a brand, trying to build a brand here. A lot of good announcements that's coming up from Mog soon.
Building the list. Yeah,
we're building. We've got scoping some artists, and it's a lot that's going on behind the scenes. The quality. Before the end of the year, hopefully that we want the quality to be even better than what it is now. Soundboard, we're gonna be doing that. Like, Mog, we're brainstorming and doing a lot of things in the background. And we hope you guys love our new member too. We love our new member. She's amazing. Shout out to Leisha. Leash Capiche. Yeah, definitely check her out. Her channel, leash.capiche.
That might do sound kind of hot. Demi, that sounds like fire.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys, man. Hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Mind of a Gamer podcast will be this Saturday coming up, 11 a.m. If you missed this past Saturday's episode, go check out the Mind of a Gamer playlist. Big that. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys have a great week. It is the work week, and we out.
Howdy till Saturday, guys.
Peace.
Howdy.